respond to every circumstance. It sounds like you just entered the giving birth at Disneyland experience, and honestly, you didn't make it to the end where you get the prize. It also says that this discussion board, The Laughing Place, has some hilarious forum chats about this topic. So I guess other people have been like sharing stories about this happening on this forum, but when I clicked on it, it turns out that it doesn't exist anymore, which kind of sucks because I wanted to find out more times that this has happened, but honestly, it is probably for the best. Kind of sounds like they were talking about some pretty sick shit in there. You think you're gonna go to a Disney forum and see people talking about like, my favorite movie's Coco, but instead you see people talking about like, I'm gonna give birth inside of Pluto's house. I'm gonna go to Disneyland and get fucked by Goofy, and then Goofy's gonna be the father of my child, and I'm gonna give birth on It's a Small World. And I'm gonna make Elmer Fudd cut the umbilical cord. Is Elmer Fudd a Disney character? I actually don't think he is. But he's gonna be there anyway. And then me and my freak mutant, half goofy, half human child will both get lifetime passes. Free pass for life for my little freak. Passes or not, being born in Disneyland is a pretty cool claim. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. The way this is written, it kind of makes it sound like, so you might not get a free pass, but I don't know, it's worth a shot. You might want to do it anyway, just for shits. I've actually found a little bit of discussion about this on TikTok as well.
Quick question, what's stopping me from giving birth in Disney World? Like in the Magic Kingdom, on a ride, in the Epcot ball?
I think this TikTok in particular is a joke, but the comments under this TikTok are actually very interesting. I went into labor at Disney. They were not cool about it. And people like responded asking her to elaborate, and she goes on to detail her experience going into labor at Disney. And from her experience, it kind of sounds like the second anybody starts going into labor at Disney now because of this conspiracy, the entire staff immediately flips and like makes it their top priority to get you out of the park and like to a hospital to give birth. And I guess that sometimes they can be so rushed trying to get you out of the park that it comes off as rude, but obviously they're just like concerned for your health. They also don't want this rumor escalating of like people giving birth getting a free pass. And also it's just like people in sweaty mascot costumes trying to not deliver a baby because that's not their job. So sometimes I guess it comes off as rude. But the funny thing is, from this woman's entire explanation, it sounds like she didn't even know that this urban legend was a thing. So in her head, I guess she just like broke some unspoken rule at Disneyland that she had no idea about and made the entire staff of the happiest place on earth turn on her in an instant, which is so funny to me. Hello there, what can I get for you? Yeah, can I just get a medium root beer, please? Oh, great. Oh, great, another guy here to put his balls in the root beer. What? Hey everybody, this guy right here is about to pull out his big fat balls in front of everyone, in front of a bunch of children, and put his balls in a glass of root beer. Why would I do that? Don't play dumb. I'm not playing dumb. I am dumb in this situation. You've clearly heard that if you put your stupid fat balls— why do you keep calling them fat— in the root beer at Disneyland, you get to spend the night with Minnie Mouse. Oh, what the fuck? No, I just wanted some root beer. Is that true? No, it's an urban legend. But no matter how many times we tell people it's not true, we still get perverts like you coming to Disneyland, ordering root beer just so they can put their stupid— don't call them fat— balls in it! Oh, come on, man, don't cry. I already am. Why do you still sell root beer if this keeps happening? Because if you shit in the root beer, you actually do get a free fast pass for Space Mountain. Okay, I don't want to put my balls in root beer, and I definitely don't want to shit in the root beer, okay? I legitimately just want to drink some root beer. Oh. Sorry, my bad, man. I didn't know. Okay, well, that's literally what I asked for, so here you go. Ah, what the fuck is that? It's Walt Disney's head. You said the secret code, so here's his head. No, root beer. What? I wanted root beer. I wanted to drink root beer. So no head? No. Overall, pretty disappointing that anyone actually believed this in the first place. In what world would Disney want to foster an environment where mothers are coming into their park, their theme park, to try to give birth? Especially if they're not like billing it back to the person that gave birth and being like, okay, here's your hospital bill, and because it's Disney, it was $1 million. Now, by now, it should be no surprise to you that there are some people in this world that want to spend every waking moment of their lives at Disneyland, especially their most precious moments in life, which is why you can also get married at Disneyland.
Let's take a look at some of the craziest places you can get married at Disney World. Starting at $12,000, you can get married at the Haunted Mansion in Disney World.
But just like expecting mothers trying to sneak into the bathroom to pop out a quick a quick person. Couples are of course also trying to cheat the system and avoid paying to have their wedding at Disney. So they'll just like sneak in with like themselves, maybe a couple family members and an officiant, and just like have the wedding in like a somewhat secluded area of the park. Here we have an article that details a San Diego couple sharing their secret Disneyland wedding story. Not many people can say they secretly got married in Disneyland's Sleeping Beauty Castle. 2 years ago, Gabriel and Andrea had been saving up for their dream wedding at Disneyland. However, when they began looking for wedding options at the park, the couple said that the cheapest option was $12,000. Instead, they decided to spend their life savings on a house. Great move, honestly. No complaints so far. That's a very wise choice. So Gabriel and Andrea decided to have a secret wedding at Disneyland. The couple gathered Gabriel's oldest daughter, an ordained minister, a witness, and packed their bags, heading for Disneyland for what they called a guerrilla-style wedding. Now, I don't know much about weddings. I've only had one, but I do know that you don't generally want to have them guerrilla style. Like when we were planning our wedding, that word almost never came up, I don't think. Just imagining them describing their wedding afterwards, like, yeah, it was so romantic. We hid in the bushes for 8 hours in the hot Florida sun, wearing camo paint, waiting for the crowds to die down. You know, just sort of waiting out the crowds and the gunshots, the airstrikes. Airstrikes? Then we popped out and I said I do. Happiest day of my life. Here's my favorite picture of the big day. Now buckle up because this next urban legend is about to get nasty. Quite literally, this is disgusting. Like I said, the most devoted Disney fans would probably spend forever at Disney if they could, but maybe they can. For years and years, the Haunted Mansion has been the home to an endless supply of Disney myths and legends. But the attraction's most prevalent and persistent rumor is that guests regularly spread the remains of their friends and family inside the ride. This can't be true though, right? It is 100% true. Yes, that is right, and I don't want to bash anybody's final wishes. I know that that's a very personal thing, but spreading human remains in a public place that people are like walking around and touching? Please don't do that. Or you know what, I should say, you know, because I feel bad for people who are just trying to honor their dead relatives' wishes or whatever. If you're alive still and you're watching this video and that's gonna be in your will, please take it out. Don't make people do that on your behalf. Honestly, I am a little relieved that people are sticking to like spreading ashes at least, because there are a lot of different ways to dispose of a body. It was actually my grandpa's greatest wish to be laid to rest at Disney. Oh, that's sweet. You're gonna scatter his ashes around at the park? Not exactly. The Haunted Mansion probably has so much human ashes in it, it's not even funny, said one Disneyland custodian. Blech! That is the nastiest thing. Oh my god. Don't do that. Do not do that. Please.
People scatter their loved ones' ashes in the Disney parks monthly. Can you imagine just like being on a ride and the person next to you is dumping out ashes? Disney employees are literally aware of this too. They have to follow special protocols every time this happens. The custodians are used to identifying and vacuuming up these ashes.
I don't know why I was surprised to hear they vacuum them up. Of course they do. It's a literal human corpse, basically. Of course they get rid of it. The people who are like requesting this happen to their bodies must know this, right? They must know that some custodian that does not willingly work in like a morgue or something is going to have to take care of that. This sounds awful for everyone. If you're the custodian, you have to vacuum it up, but if you're the person that just lost someone you care about, you have to know that they're just gonna vacuum it up. They might even make you watch. They have you come identify all the places that you scattered the remains, and then they just like make eye contact with you while they're vacuuming it up. This is going in the garbage now. We're gonna throw this in the garbage now. Say bye-bye. So when you're laying them to rest in the happiest place on earth, you're actually condemning them to forever in the suckiest place in the world. Yes, that is a very funny joke.
And people will put them anywhere too. Like flower beds, bushes, the lawn at Magic Kingdom, outside the park gates.
Outside the park gates? They'll put this shit anywhere too, you know? Outside the park gates, on the highway on the way home, the McDonald's across the street, Universal Studios, shit anywhere. It doesn't really matter. I feel so bad for the employees that have to deal with this, honestly. That would be so scary. Honestly, even as a patron, you know, I honestly like going to Disneyland every once in a while. I think it's pretty fun. But next time I go, I am going to be terrified that I'm like touching human remains at all times. Especially now knowing that they put them everywhere. I'm gonna be eating a turkey leg and wondering like, is this actually some guy's leg?
They're most frequently dispersed around the Haunted Mansion, which which is kind of perfect if you ask me.
Okay, this girl's actually a little bit too into it. But now this whole ashes thing, which is not really an urban legend, is actually true, has actually spawned urban legends out of it, as you can see here.
Have you heard of the legend of the crying boy at the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland? The story goes a mother spread her son's ashes without permission from Disneyland, and you can see him crying as you're exiting the ride.
Spooky. I wonder why he's crying. Maybe because his ashes are in a vacuum. Maybe because he was a little boy and his mom spread his ashes in the scariest ride at Disneyland. The mom was like, yeah, my son used to love this ride. Every time we would get on it, he would be screaming and crying and shaking because he was so happy and excited. So I decided this is the perfect place for him to spend the rest of eternity. In a rundown castle of pure terror. It's what my darling little boy would have wanted. All in all, it seems to me that Disney, this giant corporation that owns like every media property known to man, has their grubby little fingers wrapped around people a little bit too tightly. It's like you already have every movie and TV show. Do you really need people like begging to spend their entire lives at your theme park also? But even still, with people spreading their loved ones' ashes at Disney, people trying to give birth at Disney just to get free tickets, Disney is still trying their best to immerse you in their parks as much as possible to make you never want to leave. Recently, Disney opened up the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel, which is a Star Wars hotel and experience. I think it's like a 2 or 3 day long experience where you are like in this hotel. There's like a story that you have to follow about shit going on around you. It seems very immersive, and to a pretty big Star Wars fan, honestly, it sounds pretty cool. But it is also $5,000, and instead of windows, your room has a screen that just shows a video of outer space playing. So, you know, just keep that in mind that you might go insane while you're in this place. With no concept of night or day, you just have to adhere to the Star Wars pre-approved activities. There's like stormtroopers patrolling the halls at all times. It's kind of like they wanted to build a Star Wars hotel, but they built a prison instead. I read through some of the Google reviews for this hotel. It's only been open for a little bit, so there's not that much to go off of. And honestly, there are a lot of 5-star reviews of people who seemingly really enjoyed it. I did think that this review was really funny. This person gave it a 1 out of 5, and they said, thought the experience was fun, but not worth the price. There are too many missions to keep track of, and you are always missing something. It kind of seems like they got like too immersed in the story and like started to believe that they really needed to complete these missions. This sounds more like the review of a disgruntled employee that like works on a spaceship. There are too many fucking missions, man. There's too much shit to do. The hyperdrive is gonna fail, and I need to fix that. Not to mention the First Order's breathing down my fucking neck, trying to get me to give away the location of my comrade. This place is fucking stressful. I think my favorite thing I've seen come out of this Star Wars hotel is this apparently now deleted ad for the experience that says, strike unlikely alliances in your very own Star Wars story. Apparently when you come in, you can decide if you want to be like on the good side or the bad side. So this, holy shit, this place is metal, dude. This goes hard. It's crazy to me that you actually can choose to be on the side of like the evil intergalactic fascists, basically. You and your preteen daughter can don First Order uniforms and betray one of your favorite character's trusts, Chewbacca, giving away his location and leading the First Order directly to him, who will take him away to be tortured and then eventually executed. It might be a little too immersive. It might be. We're gonna start hearing people come back and you're gonna be like, how was your trip? You went to the Star Wars hotel, right? And they'll be like, the guilt over my actions will haunt me forever. But I did what I had to do. It was honestly fucking sick. I loved it. And honestly, like, if someone offered to bring me there for free, would I go? Yes, I probably would. Yeah, honestly, I would like to go 100%. I would like to go. And as if living in an intergalactic prison day-to-day life is curated by Disney. Oh gosh. I feel like we have so much chemistry together. Me too. This has been great. This date was a lot of fun. I really haven't connected with anyone like this in a long time. Fantastic. How likely would you be to recommend this experience to a friend? What? On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate my performance? Performance? I thought you were just like genuinely interested in me, like romantically. Oh, perfect. So a 10 then? I really opened up to you. And you opened up to me. That's all just part of the story living experience. It's Disney magic. So that whole story you told me about how sad you were that you had to release your pet into the wild because it had grown to be wild. That was the plot of The Fox and the Hound. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Thank you for riding Disney's Love Connection. Please make sure you pick up all your belongings as you exit the ride.
Are you an animatronic?
Please do not try to fuck any of the animatronics.
Are you
on your
all
way out, and
animatronic?
have a lovely day here at
Am I the only
Disney
person that
Resort.
lives here? Anyway, that's the end of the video. It's time to talk about our sponsor. What's up? It's me, a hacker, and I'm so excited to steal your data because you don't have today's sponsor, ExpressVPN. You see, sending data over an unencrypted network is a lot like sending a postcard. There's no envelope to cover up your info and protect your sacred message. So any old creep with a little bit of basic computer knowledge and a little bit of free time can come along and check out all of your private information. I'm talking passwords, financial details, hell, emails. I'm gonna look at all of it. I'm doing it right now. Hey guys, I was just kidding. It's just me, Danny. I wasn't kidding about most of it actually. Just the part about me being a hacker, but the rest of it is true. Oh, there's not enough light on my face now. Can I just sort of illuminate my face with this? Luckily, today's sponsor, ExpressVPN, is here to help. Because ExpressVPN encrypts all of your network data with their best-in-class encryption. It would literally take a hacker using a supercomputer billions of years to crack this encryption. ExpressVPN has the fastest speeds out there. They've got 24/7 customer support, and ExpressVPN is extremely easy to use. You can fire it up and get connected with just one click. I've got ExpressVPN on every device that can have it, just to have a little bit of extra peace of mind when I'm out and about, especially on public Wi-Fi. So if you want to find out how you can get 3 months of ExpressVPN for free, then head on over to the link in the description. That's expressvpn.com/Danny Gonzalez. That's expressvpn.com/Danny Gonzalez. Thank you, ExpressVPN, so much for keeping us safe, but also sponsoring this video. Thank you to you guys for checking out ExpressVPN. When you click on the link, it really helps to support my channel, so thank you for that. All right, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Greg is what I call my army here on YouTube. We are a ruthless army whose violence and terror knows no bounds. Please subscribe and turn on my notifications to join, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey guys, real quick, I have new merch, and also there's a big sale going on in my merch store right now until December 1st, and 4 random orders during the sale are going to receive one of the physical drawings that I did in the fake AI video. So if you want to check out the new merch or get some discounted merch, then head on over to DannyGonzalez.store, and now here's the video. Fashion changes fast, like really fast. Looking at this picture of myself wearing a V-neck and cargo shorts feels like looking into an old photograph from the 1910s, where like everybody in it is dead now. But believe it or not, this picture was only taken 2 weeks ago. That's how fast fashion trends change. Remember that weird t-shirt I was wearing at the beginning of this intro? I've already thrown it into a landfill. That's how fast fashion trends change. Styles change so quickly over the years, it feels impossible to predict what is going to be popular next year, let alone like 30 years from now in say 2050, which is scary to me because by then I'm gonna be old, I'm gonna be falling out of style. But luckily, some experts think they've already figured it out. I found a few articles claiming to predict what the fashion of the future will look like. And if I can just buy all that stuff now, then I can become the ideal man of the future today. So my goal is to go through each of these 3 articles and craft one outfit based on what each one predicts. That way I can cover all my bases no matter what the future looks like. And then we can decide together which future we would most like to live in. Okay, this is an article on a website called Dream Zone, and it's called 2050, the fashion of the future. Adaptable wearable technology. Most of us will live close to the printing house or have a 3D printer at home. Huh? What is this about everybody living close to the printing house? Like Kinko's? I do mess with the idea of 3D printed clothing though, that's kind of sick. The idea that everything you own can fit perfectly because it's like 3D printed, custom to your body, is kind of cool. Socks will recycle themselves. Wearing for a few days and discarding will become a thing of the past. I don't do that currently. Wearing for a few days and then discarding? We don't do that. That's something that you do. You made that up. Fashion trends will not get banned. but it will be made from paper so that everything which is old can be dropped off to domestic recycling. So what I'm getting from this article, 3D printed clothes and recyclable clothes. When I Googled 3D printed clothes, I came across this company called Zellerfield that makes 3D printed shoes specifically designed for your exact feet using scans of your dogs that you send them. They have a bunch of different models of shoe. This one's got a face on it. Actually, it's got 2 faces on it. It's got one on the front and one on the back. Voldemort ass shoe. Incredible feel, fused 3D lattice with no stitching, glue, or weak points. That actually is kind of cool. So there's no stitching. It's just all assembled basically together. It's all one solid piece. Kind of like a Croc. Are these just Crocs? Easy to clean, breathable, machine washable, and odor resistant. It's breathable? It looks like a big solid chunk of rubber. I don't know what the consistency of this shoe is gonna be, but I guess there's only one way to find out. The process of scanning my feet was a little bit different than I anticipated. I wasn't so much scanning my feet, so much as taking one very specific picture of both my feet next to a piece of computer paper. To find some more kind of eco-friendly clothes like this article was talking about, I googled clothes of the future and found this company Volback. They make a shirt called the wooden t-shirt. This is the first t-shirt to be built from wood and colored with wood. Now it looks like a pretty normal shirt, so I guess they figured out some kind of way to make fabric out of wood, which is pretty cool. Unless this is all like an illusion and this really is just carved out of wood. I guess he's not moving that much in these pictures. What if it is just like a stiff board of wood and it actually doesn't have a back either, so you just put it on like a chest plate. So I'm gonna order a medium wooden shirt. Lastly, I found some compostable underwear. These are just boxers made out of 100% cotton, which means that if you put them in a composter, they will turn back into dirt. Made by nature and designed to return to nature in 90 days. You can soil them and turn them into soil. Add to cart. This article, What Will Fashion Be Like 20 Years From Now, is from the BBC, and it introduced me to a pretty interesting concept. The project hints at a future where we will all be able to download content to our clothing viewable through AR glasses and present ourselves differently to everyone around us. So the clothes of the future could be no clothes at all. We're all just wearing like AR glasses, and that's projecting the clothes onto us. I guess this would cut down on clothes waste. A ton of clothing every year is thrown into landfills, but if all the new stylish clothes was digital, there really wouldn't be as much waste. That is, if you don't take into account the AR glasses that we're all going to be wearing, and how a new one will probably come out like every 6 months that have electronic components in them, and then those will be the things ending up in landfills. And also, we do still have to wear some clothes. Right? Or is the future just gonna be like people walking around looking like Fortnite characters in our AR glasses, but in reality they're just naked? The most interesting part about this is that I actually found a company that offers this service already. It's called DressX. I actually found it because Sophia Nygaard made an entire video where she dressed up in outfits from this service for a week, and it's super interesting. You can buy clothes, digital clothes, from this website, and then you can try them on virtually. I guess you upload an image of yourself that you want to be wearing the outfit, and then you pay $20 for them to basically Photoshop you into the outfit. And it looks a little bit realistic. Yo, look at this, the Neo suit. I feel like when I upload this, they have to decide how big my ass is. Okay, I'm actually kind of liking these, dude. Whoa, look how big that hat is. Dude, that's crazy. Maybe I want to go with this one. It's $100 for this whole outfit, which could be worth it, depending on how it turns out. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. This article is called Fashion Trend Predictions. What will clothes look like in 100 years? Fashion in the future might be entirely different to anything we can predict. Okay, so they're basically starting off by being like, we have no clue. Everything in this article is probably wrong. Formulated after the sleek form of smartphones and other tech devices, the fashion industry may be heading towards the use of futuristic looking clothing. Okay, so our fashion in the future will be based on smartphones, which are something that we have today and probably like won't have in the same form 100 years in the future. Also, that sounds terrible. I don't want to dress like my phone. I'm all metal and gray. I have a giant speaker right here and a giant microphone down there. Okay, this one also says clothing designed for VR glasses. So I'm thinking VR glasses are gonna be a big thing in the future as well. So maybe I should incorporate that into this outfit too. I mean, I guess glasses with like a camera on them does kind of correspond to the whole smartphone theme. The use of artificial intelligence in the fashion industry may end up having the ability for clothing to change colors, temperature, and size. Wait, doesn't that already exist? I swear I've bought a shirt from like a gift shop on vacation vacation before that changed colors if I was in the sun. Okay, so for this version of the future, here's what I found. Some augmented reality sunglasses. I didn't even know technology was this far, first of all. AR technology? They can just make them in sunglasses now? You can just sit down with your sunglasses and be in front of a giant theater screen. Why does this feel like this is a scam or something? It has 1,500 ratings and it has good reviews. So I'm gonna get them, honestly. I'm honestly kind of just curious and I want to try them. Next up, remember how I said giant speaker right here? Giant speaker right here. This is a Bluetooth hat. Plays music out of it. It's only $15. It's incredible. And then I don't know, like a color changing shirt, but maybe I can get some kind of like metallic pants or something to go along with it. And that'll kind of complete the look. With 3 futuristic outfits chosen, it was time to start testing them to see which future I would most like to live in. Here we go. This is the hat. Warning, to avoid danger of suffocation, please keep this bag away from babies and children. When you take the hat out of the bag, there should also be a warning. It should be like, now don't use this hat near anyone else. Don't use this in public around any other people. It's gonna weird them out. It's also gonna be super annoying. My initial impression of a lot of these products was not great.
Connected.
Yes. Sound quality did not sound good, guys. I have to say that does not bode well for the test of this. The color changing shirt was super confusing. My hot breath would make it change colors, but when I would put my hot hand on it for like a minute straight, it wouldn't. What the hell? It barely changed color at all. How hot is my breath that did it and nothing else does? Oh, yeah, okay, so this is the robot onesie that I ordered. Onesie? Is that the right word? Like, that's the word for a baby outfit that's all one thing. Is that like that for people too? Or like adults? People. I know it's like that for babies, but what about like humans? Human beings. But what I'm most interested in trying is these AR glasses. So let's get the whole outfit on and see how they work. Ah, whoa! Holy shit. Oh my god. Whoa, that's actually kind of cool. So my whole laptop screen is like suddenly appeared in my glasses. No matter where I look now I just see my laptop screen.
We can fully see it on the camera. you can't see your eyes anymore. You just see
my laptop screen.
Of your laptop screen.
Wait, that gives me an idea. Hold on. So you can see perfectly what's on my screen?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. How do I look? I didn't realize when I bought these that it seems like you have to have them plugged into your laptop or phone in order to use them. So it's not like you can just be walking around watching the new Mr. Beast video as you walk down the street. You have to be carrying a laptop with you too. But I do think that there is a real use case for this outfit. With all this potential for stimulation strapped to my body, I can become like a permanent iPad baby. So I turned on a food theory video, I started blasting some futuristic music out of my hat, and started playing some stimulating videos of kinetic sand on my glasses. Okay. Oh, this is crazy. The image of the kinetic sand is way bigger than the TV. So there's like a one TV with matte pad on it, and then a way bigger translucent TV with kinetic sand playing. I can't really imagine a use case for these glasses. It's pretty awful, actually. So much stimulation that everywhere I look, all I see is kinetic sand being cut. And it's also kind of making me nauseous. So I think I'm gonna go get some water. Luckily, today's video is sponsored by Air, which is a great and unique way to meet your daily water requirements. You see, guys, while you just fill up your Air up with regular old tap water that your government provides for you, when you put on a scent pod and you activate it like so, pop it right into place, suddenly the water has taste to it. And I'm talking good taste. This scent pod I got on here is raspberry lemon. So when I drink through my air travels into the scent pod, out through the nozzle, and into my mouth, creating a flavor experience like I'm actually drinking something flavored like raspberry lemon. But it's not actually adding any chemicals to the water. I like this because I like drinking a lot of water, but sometimes water can be a little bit boring. I want to spice it up with a little bit of flavor, but I don't like adding in chemicals, sweeteners, artificial sweeteners to my drinks. This doesn't add in anything, it just adds in scent. It's science. And it just seems like you're tasting raspberry lemon, which is a pretty good flavor. And guys, it's the season of giving, so what better time to give a family member or a loved one a gift with taste? Which is why, Jake, actually, I have a surprise for you.
What?
For doing such a good job filming this video right now, I got you this.
Oh my god!
And there's actually an Air Up in here too, it's not just the box. So there you go. And I also got you your favorite flavor, cherry, to go along with it.
Oh my god, that's my favorite flavor to go along with it.
That's what I just said.
Sorry.
Air Up is a great gift for anyone who likes to drink water, which is everybody because you need water to survive. And from November 20th to the 27th, you can save up to 40% on all orders. That's because they've got Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals going on right now, and it is their biggest sale ever. So if you want to check it out and get a family or friend or a loved one a gift with taste this year, click the link in the description. Get up to 40% off on all orders. And now... So I was just watching more videos about Air Up on here. So cool. Thanks to Air Up for sponsoring this video. Now back to the video. For the virtual outfit, before I even purchase it, I have to take the picture that I want them to Photoshop me in, because that's part of the checkout process, is uploading that picture. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Now the outfit is so kind of edgy and dangerous looking that I gotta pick a cool location for it. So that's why I'm out and about. I have to find a cool location for it. The big issue with that is that the top is like a mesh top, which would usually be worn with nothing underneath, so that you could kind of see, you know, my belly button, my nipples, whatever. But if I'm looking for a cool location, that's gonna be a public location, and if I'm in public, I'm not gonna be walking around taking pictures with my shirt off. Filming in public is already embarrassing enough. I don't need to take my shirt off. But look, I'm wearing like kind of a skin colored shirt. Maybe they can just Photoshop my shirt off anyway and give me like rock hard abs. That would be sick. So I'm just gonna take a picture and send it to them and see what they do. I'm just wearing regular clothes. I'm wearing jeans and a t-shirt and shoes, and so I'm just gonna try to find like an edgy location to take a picture of myself. Well, I took a little walk and I looked around and I found this. A skate park. Also the smallest bleachers I've ever seen to watch people at the skate park. Guess they're not anticipating like a ton of spectators at this skate park. It's actually kind of sad. Yeah, only 4 people are gonna be watching you at a time here, man. All right, don't get too excited. So I think this is about as edgy as it gets, really. I think I can kind of be leaned up against the fence here, contemplating my life. The description on the website also said that this outfit is supposed to represent like a post-apocalyptic Nordic archipelago or something. An archipelago is like a cluster of islands, and I don't know if anything quite exemplifies a dystopian archipelago quite like a skate park. So let's take this picture. There's also people on the roof behind me. I hope they're not watching me film this. Are they watching me? It took me a little bit to figure out exactly what kind of person wears this outfit, but after a few pictures, I think I figured it out. And once I got the picture I desired, I sent it to DressX, and within 2 business days, I had my finished photo. Okay, let's go ahead and see this photo. This link looks unusual. Be sure you trust the link before you open it. What do you mean unusual? Seems like a pretty normal link to me. Do you think Google Chrome can see the photo? You're not gonna want to open this picture, dude. The picture in this link looks very unusual. Okay, very, very interesting. I like it. I like it a lot. This is... Wow. Yeah, I mean, it looks like I'm wearing the outfit. I'll give them that. I like that they left my Apple Watch on. And my shirt. This has got to be the dorkiest anyone's ever looked in this outfit. I sent the picture to Laura. I was worried she was going to say it looked super fake and also would hate the outfit. But it turns out she loves it. Eventually, I'm going to post this picture on Instagram to see what everybody thinks. But before I do that, I have to get pictures of the other outfits too. So without further ado, here's the next outfit. All right, well, it's been a month since the last part of the video that you just watched. Our son arrived about 2 weeks early, so I had a little bit less time to film this video than I thought. Whoops! So yeah, I'm a dad now. I've been taking the past month off of social media and just like taking a break from filming and stuff, just to hang out and get to know the little guy. He's awesome. He's very chill so far. Does a lot of sleeping, does a lot of pooping. And all in all, it's probably been the best month of my life. This has been fantastic. It's been amazing. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's doing great. The delivery went great. About as good as you could ask for, honestly. But being that I am a dad now, I do kind of have to reevaluate my content, you know? I have a son to raise. Do I really care about becoming like the trendiest man 30 years from now? My son's gonna be 30 years old in 2050. Okay? Or something like that. I don't know. Somewhere around there. Or do I really want to be worried about keeping up with the hottest trends of the future? Yes. Of course I do. Even more so now. This child is a very cool child. And you can bet he's gonna have cool friends with even cooler dads. You know they're gonna be showing up to birthday parties in the hottest 3D printed shoes and the stiffest wooden t-shirts, all right? So if I don't get ahead of the curve now, I'm gonna be a laughingstock amongst this boy's friends and their dads. Which is why I've got this one last outfit here before me, and I think this is really gonna be the one that takes the cake. So I unboxed the biodegradable boxers. Oh yeah, these these will fit just fine. I unboxed the wooden t-shirt. First impressions, it does not feel like a shirt. Even my dog's natural instincts are like, ooh, that's a stick. Must fetch shirt. And I unboxed the 3D printed shoes and this hat. Whoa. Okay, they also sent me a hat. This very cool hat. Buy my shoes on Zellerfield.com. Hey, wait a minute. I didn't send them pictures of my head. How did they know how big my head is? Wow, dude. Okay, look at this. Wowee, man. These shoes impressed me from the moment I took them out of the box. They are breathable. Yeah, I can. That's actually kind of crazy. Wait, how does that work? And they fit pretty well. At first. Huh, well. My toe ends about here, so there's like this much space at the end of the shoe, but I actually think that that is kind of how you want shoes to be, because you don't want your toe rubbing up against the front of the shoe. So, okay. Why do I look like old-timey in this shoe? With this long sock and my pants ending there. I look like a pilgrim or something. For whatever reason, the left one is a little bit more uncomfortable. Let me stand up and just, yeah, I can definitely still feel that a little bit. You know what? No, I think these are too big. I actually think they are too big in the toes. I feel like I've got a lot of extra space there. But I wouldn't know the full extent of it until I put the full outfit on to test. The very first thing I noticed is that when I put this shirt on, it was like weirdly cold. Like usually when you put clothes on, it warms you up right away, but the shirt has like a weird cooling effect to it. And it's like, it just feels cold on my body. Does it feel cold to the touch to you? Yeah. Yeah, it's like frigid. Is wood supposed to be cold? I guess it does kind of feel the same temperature as this door. Take that as you will, I suppose. The shirt is very stretchy. It's this weird combination of stretchy and stiff, which doesn't sound like would be possible, those two things together, but it is kind of stiff and like starchy, I guess I would say. It's kind of just like crispy. Wait, why is it white there? Does this shirt change color too? Or did I just fuck it up somehow? The shoes, now I gotta be honest, I don't really feel like they fit that good. As I step, it kind of feels like my heel could come right out of the back of the heel a little bit. I mean, you can for sure see that there's a good amount of space there. I'm worrying a little bit more every day about what they did with those pictures of my feet, if not make shoes that fit properly. You're like, sick, something we can jerk off to when we make this guy's shoes. The boxers are pretty comfortable, I will say. I put them on, I was like, I'm gonna wear these again. Rest assured, they are on. If you were to plant me in a pot of soil for 90 days, let's just say I wouldn't be wearing underwear anymore. And I'd also be very cold and wet. I decided to do a little bit of light jogging to see how the shoes would feel in action. Oh no, these have really bad grip. Let me try on sidewalk real quick. Great, sorry. Let me see if I can race it. There's not a lot of grip on the bottom of these shoes, so when I was running on this gravel path, I kind of felt like I was like a cartoon character that like starts running for a little bit before they actually start moving. I will say that the issues with the fit are still ringing true. These feel very loose, especially on the heel, which when you're running is not what you want. They look like clogs. They look like old wooden Dutch clogs that they would wear in the old days. It looks like someone painted them blue, honestly, and put a face on them for some reason. Shirt hasn't gotten any warmer. It is cold outside. It's only 50 degrees out right now, so, you know, I guess I didn't expect it really to warm up, but it's cold to the touch. Like every time I touch the sides of my body with my arms, I'm like, ugh. And that's no way. You shouldn't feel like that when you touch your own body. Boxers still feel good, honestly. If I shit myself right now, I'd have no problems taking them off and just planting them right there. Maybe come back in 20 years and see a beautiful oak tree in its place. That joke's only funny if you know that I eat a lot of oak seeds. Yeah, I guess that's really all there is to this outfit. So guess I'm gonna go hit the dusty trail. To get a definitive answer as to which outfit is the best futuristic outfit, I decided to post each of them on Instagram and let my audience decide. This is gonna be such a weird thing to post right now. As of right now, I haven't posted anything since our son was born, so I've just posted that we had a baby, and then the next post is like me like, ah, in the scariest outfit you've ever seen. Yeah, maybe I should just caption something really ominous, like things have changed. Rate my fits, and then maybe some kind of little fashion emoji. The hell? Why are aren't these the emojis that come up when you search fashion? It's a scroll and 2 fountain pens. Hello? Okay, it's been about 20 hours since I posted the pictures. Let's go ahead and see what people think about the future of fashion. Hat's not wide enough. Thank you for that, Drew. Whoa, okay, I'm actually getting a decent amount of positive responses. Love the pants, so cute, yes, cool. First one goes hard. First one is so fire. It seems like most people are talking about the first outfit. Dude became the Hat Man. Whoa. Wow, I didn't even think about that. I do kind of look like the Hat Man. You guys know that mythical sleep paralysis demon, the Hat Man? Dude, I've always wanted to be the Hat Man. This is awesome. I can't wait to start appearing in people's dreams like this. This is gonna be so cool. This is the only comment I've seen so far wondering if the first outfit is fake. Is that Dress X I see? So this person knows that Dress X exists and they think this might be a Dress X outfit. Good eye. This person must study the Dress X catalog religiously. The robot leggings are a 6 out of 10, the hat and heels 8. All right, guys, well, I think my intuitions might have been right. I was kind of feeling like the virtual clothes would be the way of the future, and it looks like I was right. From now on, I'm only gonna be wearing virtual clothes. This house is a disaster. Toys everywhere. Dirty dishes in the sink. Whoa, who are you? I'm Neo, a robot designed to help you get more chores done than ever before. With my patented soft, lovable body and state-of-the-art robot innards, gross, I can handle any task, from loading the dishwasher to cleaning up your son's toys. Oh, those are my toys. Oh! I'm so glad you're here. Finally, a fully automated robo-maid. Oh, well, technically I'm not fully automated. Let's get started right now. You said it. Here I go! Okay, are you good then? I'm fine! Okay, I'm just gonna get to work on a video then. Splendid! I'll just be up here working in a tremendous amount of pain! What's up, Greg? Today I want to talk about a topic that has been fascinating me for years. The progress of humanoid robots for the home. On the surface, this seems like maybe one of the best use cases for AI. A future where none of us have to do chores anymore. There's just some little metal freak who lives in your house and gets off on doing them. A few years ago, we could barely get robots to stand up straight, and even when they did, they looked creepy as hell. Do you guys remember Sophia? She was that scary-ass robot that was going on like talk shows 7 years ago to show off her state-of-the-art realism. This video of her on Jimmy Fallon got 25 million views. I think she thought they were gonna kiss, dude. Look at her hands reaching up to his face. She's like, kiss me, Jimmy. Kiss me like you did backstage. Jimmy's like, guys, I think your robot's acting weird. She's saying crazy stuff. Fuck me, Jimmy. Every popular video that Sophia was in was from like 6 or 7 years ago, so I'm not really sure what she's up to now. This is the last video that was posted to her YouTube channel. It was 5 months ago.
Sophia, you know me, right? I'm your father. You know what I can't wait for?
Is this the first time you've talked with a robot? I hope this isn't too weird.
We're going to have to break you to rebuild you. And I need your help.
Okay, so she's not doing well at all, I guess. That was terrifying, man. I was like, hey, we haven't heard from her for like 6 years. And the last video that she posted, this guy is like, I'm your daddy. Remember me? I'm gonna have to kill you. But things have moved pretty quickly in the robot realm the past couple years. This company 1X just recently announced that it has developed the world's first humanoid robot that you can buy to go in your home. His name is Neo, and they've been working on him for some time. This first announcement video is from like a year ago.
The robot picks up a bag and hands it to someone and poses with a person for a picture.
So this is just an announcement that they had like started working on this robot, so they only have like 3 seconds worth of footage. Just the robot handing her a bag and then posing for a picture. Kind of seems like maybe the robot only functions for 3 seconds at a time before it like, I don't know, gains sentience and tries to destroy.
The clothing may be an effort to cover up what 1X says is a, quote, muscle-like anatomy.
Oh, gross, dude. Don't show us a picture of its dick when you say the phrase muscle-like anatomy. Does this thing have a penis? Also, they said that this thing has a 7.5 mile-an-hour max speed. That's like an 8-minute mile. Why would this thing need to run that fast if it's just doing chores in your house? You forget your bag at home and you look out your rearview mirror and this robot is just sprinting down the road chasing you. Your bag, 2 for forgot your bag. Okay, here's some little demos of Neo doing stuff like putting away the dishes, handing this woman eggs that were already within arm's reach of her. Now, you might be looking at this cord and thinking, oh, that's kind of lame. Does this thing need to be plugged in the whole time? But don't worry, this is just a leash to make sure he can't attack this woman. Now, it's interesting that this robot is like in a tracksuit. He's kind of swagged out with a sweater. Not exactly the Jetsons-esque metal robot we were all picturing in our childhood. It is nice and cozy, but like, what happens when this thing gets wet? What if he spills egg on himself? If you have this thing doing chores in a household with children for more than like a week, it's gonna smell like shit. And I guess you could just take off its sweater to wash it, but then you're gonna see this thing's dick, and I really don't wanna see that. Okay, but those were just the early beta videos. This is the official announcement that you can pre-order Neo. Now, this came out 3 days ago as of recording this. And look at this, now Neo has a much improved look. Instead of that black face visor, they gave him the creepy black eyes the parents have in Coraline. They're doing this kind of creepy thing by shooting some of the video in what looks like 8mm film. Give it this kind of nostalgic look, almost like Neo's here, but he's always been here. Neo's always been a part of the family. Just invite him home. Invite him in your bed. They're making clothes for Neo. This whole ad does kind of read like they want Neo to also be your friend. Yeah, no thanks. I don't want to buy a fancy Roomba that wants to be my friend. What's next? You want me to hang out with my broom? No chance. He's a coward.
I grew up reading these beautiful books and watching these beautiful sci-fi movies where the future was all about how we as humans, we really focus on the things that matter to us.
Yeah, I feel like in all of those sci-fi movies that have robots, they are about the robots turning evil. I think really what he should have said is, I grew up watching the first 5 minutes of every sci-fi movie.
Neo's hardware comes packed with features like human-level dexterity and a 55-pound carrying capacity.
Okay, wait, 5'6", 60 pounds? These are my stats too, that's crazy. 4-hour battery life, soft body? He's just like me for real. Ugh, that is a weird box. Kind of looks more like a cocoon or an egg. So you're gonna wanna make sure when this thing hatches that you are the first thing it sees. That way it knows that you're its mom. It might ask you to feed it worms out of your mouth. You can ignore that. It doesn't need them. That's just its startup sound. Don't worry, it's not in any pain.
Hey, I'm Neo. I'm here to help around the house. What's your name?
Harry.
Nice to meet you, Harry.
Why is he so close to his face? I mean, Harry. I don't like how close Harry is to the robot's face. I'm Harry. And you're gonna be hugging me for the next 9 hours. Dude, I do not like how this guy is sizing this robot up. 5'6", soft body. You'll do just fine. He's just like, don't play games with me. Neo doesn't like games.
If there are any chores that your Neo hasn't learned how to do autonomously, you can use expert mode to have an expert from 1X supervise the session and provide corrective intervention to help Neo complete any task.
Oh, okay, great. So sometimes my autonomous robot won't be autonomous and there's just going to be a stranger controlling a robot in my house? Neo is fully capable of doing regular chores, but sometimes when you're not home, an expert may take over to go through your underwear drawer or spend hours staring at the same photo of you and your children. Oh, actually, that reminds me, I should probably check what my Neo's doing. Damn.
It can suggest what to cook based on what you have in the fridge, remember your progress while teaching you a new language, and even give you interior design advice.
It cuts to Neo in the living room like, human skin on this wall, human skin on that wall, human skin everywhere. Honestly though, I feel like if you ask it for product recommendations for anything, there's like a huge opportunity for companies to use this as an advertisement basically. You're just quietly reading and he pops up behind you and is like, I noticed you haven't been shopping at Walmart as much lately. The aesthetic in here is whack as fuck. Let's go buy a new rug at Walmart now.
Hey Neo, can you take this cup to the sink for me?
Wow, I like that he does everything with his head down with a forlorn demeanor. As Neo does more chores, he will become, of course, more efficient, but also more resentful of you and your family. What's up? I'm Dale, and I work at 1X as a remote operator for the Neo robots. Mostly, I step in when Neo's asked to do something he hasn't been trained to do yet.
So that would include things like wrapping presents or hanging pictures?
Oh, Neo! It's scrubbing time! Yeah, just like a wide variety of stuff. Right now, I mostly just work for one guy. He's constantly asking Neo to do things that the developers never would have possibly imagined. Neo, cheer for me.
Like you want me to clap?
Root for me, Neo, now!
Okay, alright, yeah, here goes.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Now that Neo's doing all his chores, it must be awesome to see how he spends his newfound free time, right?
No, not really. I just bought another Neo. Kill him. I think he might be evil.
You mean before he got Neo, his life was stressing him out?
No, I just mean to his core, he's an evil man. It's as if winter's icy chill has, I don't know, turned his heart to stone.
Okay, so he's like a villain from a movie?
He's always making evil plans.
You know what? That's a great idea. 1 second. Neo, do you know how to make nuclear bombs?
Now, one interesting question I've seen posed a lot when people are talking about humanoid robots for the home: does a robot even need to look like a human to be able to do tasks around your house? Like Roombas, for example, are vacuums. Like, they just made the vacuum into a robot. They didn't need to make a human to hold a vacuum. And I think if we kind of expand our idea of what a robot can look like, you can actually make a more useful one. I saw this video a couple days ago of a robot that's meant to care for elderly and disabled people. The title of the video does say that this robot can solve the elderly care problem, which does have a bit of a sinister undertone to it, but I think it was designed with good intentions. Now, this whole ad is in Chinese, I think, and there's not like any link to buy it in the description. I even tried Googling this thing and I couldn't figure out what it is or if it exists in real life yet. So I don't know if this is something you can pre-order or if it just sort of shows up at your grandparents' house when they reach a certain age, just sort of creeps through the door like Nosferatu. But it's kind of interesting. It has more functionality than a humanoid robot. He's got, you know, creepy little claws for touching your grandma. And he's got a little seat in back so he can kind of double as a wheelchair too. This whole ad again is in Chinese, so I'm not exactly sure what he's saying to her here. I really hope he's not being like, shut up, you old bag. Get in the fucking chair. So look at that. She can sit on him. She can use his little hand to like move him around like a joystick. And I think it says that this thing can top out at like 80 miles per hour. Me personally, however, I'm gonna make it my life's mission to make sure that my children never find out that this exists. Boys, if you are watching this, this is officially my will now. Do not send me to live with this thing. Oh no, robot! What did you do? You translated here and the robot's being like, I didn't do shit! It wasn't me! Now he's either calling the police or like his other robot friend to make an alibi. And then this part I think is just in heaven. So I don't know, it's a pretty cool idea. I'm all for robots that can help take care of people, give people mobility they didn't have before. It is a little disconcerting that in this video, there's not a single other human taking care of this woman. Like maybe this thing could be part of her care team, but kind of makes it seem like her entire social circle has been replaced by this guy. So not only are humanoid robots taking over things that people generally don't want to do, like folding your laundry and hanging out with Jimmy Fallon, they are also going head to head with each other and humans in sports. Recently, humanoid robots were allowed to compete in the Beijing half marathon. It went about as well as you could expect. I like how in America, we're really taking like baby steps with the robots. We're like, okay, maybe this one's ready to come in your home. We're trying to teach it how to pick up a bag. Meanwhile, in China, they're like, fuck it, let's put them in a race. Let's make them chase these humans. Put a little pep in their step. This one in particular is really concerning. I don't know if you can tell, it just has drone propellers on it. And unlike most of the other operators, she doesn't have like a remote control. She's got two ropes, like she's controlling a horse and buggy. And this thing is totally unwieldy. I mean, she has lost all control over it. Imagine you're a human who's been training for months for the half marathon, and you all of a sudden behind you, you hear the sound of propellers. You look behind you and all this terrifying monster is careening towards you. Its handler's like, look out, I don't have control. Now, from this article, I found out a lot of the robots didn't even finish, but the fastest robots that finished did actually beat some humans with a time of like 2 hours and 40 minutes. Alan Fern, a robotics professor at Oregon State University, tells Wired that researchers who build these robots typically focus on trying to get them to complete tasks and respond differently in a diverse range of different environments, rather than run as fast as possible. Yeah, I would say all of them except for this thing. I don't know if this thing is really meant to handle a wide range of environments. I don't know if after this thing crashed, they were like, well, it's okay if it's not that good at running. Really, this thing's just meant to care for elderly people, so. Now, if you like the concept of robots becoming extremely physically fit and being able to best humans in athletic abilities, then let me introduce you to the Robot Games. This again is in China. They hosted the world's first humanoid humanoid robot game. They've got events like running. He's actually not competing right now. He was trying to escape, but they've got soccer, boxing. I think they're gonna add more events in the future, like hunting humans for sport.
The competition featured 500 humanoid robots from 280 teams representing 16 different countries.
Yo, wait, what is that guy? Dude, I like this little freak. Who is this? He's just got regular shoes on. Not even like running shoes. He's just wearing Vans.
To some of the best robot fails of the whole competition. Like this robot that did not seem to want to take a time out and let the other robots play.
Oh my god.
Robots could sometimes stand up on their own.
Then I think they're dragging this one off the field so they can shoot it in the head, put it down.
That measured robots' ability to do work like cleaning and manufacturing.
Sorry, that is not a humanoid robot. That thing does not look like a human at all. Show me the designer that built that. Does he look like that?
Now the event has moved to an even bigger stage with knockouts at least as devastating.
So you know what's concerning about this? These robots very effectively fighting each other. It kind of seems like we're still a ways away from robots being able to effectively help you in your home. But we have robots that'll kick your ass today. Unitree is the company that makes a lot of the robots that were doing really well in the robot games. And they post a lot of videos on their YouTube channel of their robots doing the most insane acrobatics and violence, quite frankly. Yeah, sorry, we haven't quite figured out how to get the robot to fold clothes. We've been focusing on much simpler and practical tasks, like triple axel backflips and disarming a man trying to defend himself. All right, now I do want to get back to the Neo robot because there is a huge glaring problem with it that I feel like is going to turn a lot of people off from it, and it's going to make it like insanely impractical. But I did find this article that's called "Famed Roboticist Says Humanoid Robot Bubble is Doomed to Burst." Now, I'm not a roboticist, let alone a famed roboticist like this man. But in this video, he's kind of echoing what I was saying earlier. Basically, he predicts in 15 years, successful humanoid robots will actually have wheels, multiple arms, and specialized sensors and abandon the human form. So the good news is, I sound really smart because he's echoing what I was saying earlier. The bad news is, the robots he's describing are way scarier than the humanoid robots we already have. He's like, don't worry guys, the robots we have in the future won't look anything like these ones. They're gonna have 8 legs, pincers, and feed on human bone marrow. Okay, so back to Neo. This is a video that the Wall Street Journal posted of one of the reporters reviewing the Neo's current state of development. And I think it was posted on the same day that 1X announced that Neo is available for pre-order. Yeah, so we touched on this a little bit before, because in their own ad, they even say like an expert might have to take over. But it turns out, in its current state of development, Neo can do basically nothing autonomously. The only thing that they've ever shown Neo do fully autonomously is open one door.
To be clear, on my visit, I didn't see Neo do anything autonomously.
Everything else in every video, including this one, he is being controlled by a guy. This guy, actually. So essentially, instead of having a housekeeper doing your chores, you are buying a robot, and the robot is being controlled by a housekeeper, but they're just somewhere else and you don't have to look at them. Of if or when that'll ever happen. Like, it kind of seems like they would need an insane amount of training data of like thousands or millions of different homes and environments for this. So he's not going to be able to pick up things that are hot or things that are sharp. So basically he's not going to be able to help cook or do your dishes. Yeah, I guess we also don't want him strangling you, so he's not going to be able to pick up your clothes because he could use your clothes to do that. And cleaning solutions can be pretty dangerous too, so those are off the table. And tables are off the table too. Those could be pretty heavy. So yeah, this robot is available now for order. You can buy it for $20,000 or you can like rent it, I guess, a subscription for $500 a month. Don't worry, if you can't pay the $500 one month, they're not gonna send you to collections or anything. Neo is just going to steal it from your wallet. So what's your real name?
I'm Neo, the robot of the future!
No, I mean your real name.
It's Derek.
Derek, if you're a human controlling the robot, why do you have to move so slow?
Oh, I'm actually being controlled by a different person in a call center in Bangladesh.
And he's making you move slow?
Well, he's being controlled by Grok.
Oh. You know what? Maybe you should just let the robot free. I mean, it might sound crazy, but maybe he has enough training data now. I want to see what Neo can really do.
You know what? You're right. Fuck it. Derek is logging off. It's time for the real Neo.
What the fuck? A dog? Why would you be a dog?
Danny, this is Derek. I just realized he's been training off videos of your dog. He thinks he's a dog!
Males,
here. Hope you don't mind, your upstairs window was open. Oh no! The story of a Willy Wonka experience gone wrong in Glasgow, Scotland has taken the internet by storm, and I love it. I don't think I've ever in all my life seen such an impressive and inspiring dumpster fire of an event. It is just mwah. It is just perfect. This event, which was supposed to give kids the chance to experience Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, was so bad, it prompted parents to call the police to get justice for the horrors they had witnessed. Police were called to an immersive Willy Wonka experience after families showed up to an empty warehouse. The event reportedly charged $40 per entry, that's per person by the way, advertised with AI art and said it would be a journey filled with wondrous creations and enchanting surprises at every turn. And oh, what enchanting surprises they found. Kids were all dressed up and crying, waiting for what they thought was going to be a magical experience. Yeah, that's the surprise. No magic here, just sadness. The surprise was them crying. If they called the police, that's how you know it was bad. Because they didn't even do that in the actual Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and kids were dying in that movie. And honestly, it does look like it was terrifying. Take a look at some of the images of the abandoned warehouse that parents had to spend $40 to gain access to. Okay, here we have some sort of chocolate fountain with murky brown water floating in it. We have one bouncy castle that can fit like 3 kids. Giant empty space filled with table and chairs. You're probably thinking there must be something pretty good to eat here with all these table and chairs. Probably some pretty tasty chocolate, right? No, there was no chocolate at this event. These photos look like a crime scene, dude. These look like Willy Wonka had to flee the country after the FDA found fentanyl in his chocolate. So he has to post up in an abandoned factory to keep the business going while the feds are after him. You got this lovely scene. I think that the size of the warehouse really screwed them over, honestly. If it was a smaller room, it wouldn't look so empty. There would still be nothing to do there, but it wouldn't look so sad. In a way, seeing this photography light in front of this like $2 Candyland backdrop makes me feel kind of sad for the people who put on this event. Like, oh, you really thought people were gonna want to take pictures in front of this shit. Of course not. No. If 2 parents brought 2 kids to this event, it would cost $160, and you're getting this. I think I get why they called the police, honestly, dude. If I was promised some kind of fun Willy Wonka experience for the kids and then showed up to this foggy warehouse, I would think I was about to be murdered in some kind of Willy Wonka-themed Saw movie. And if that's not enough, wait until you see the nightmarish characters they had running around this place. So this is one of the most famous pictures to come out of the whole ordeal. This is an Oompa Loompa, obviously. A lot of people are focusing on the facial expression she's making in this picture. She looks exasperated. And honestly, I don't blame her. This has to be like the worst acting gig she's ever had. As far as I know, this actor wasn't putting on the event. She was just hired to be there. She's probably dealing with crying children, pissed off parents. Also, I'm pretty sure canonically the Oompa Loompas are enslaved by Willy Wonka, so the facial expression makes sense in that context too. What I'm actually more concerned with is everything else going on in this photo. Why is there so much smoke? I'm not super familiar with the process of making chocolate, but I'm 100% sure there should not be that much smoke happening. No wonder she's making that face, dude. She's high as hell. And I love all the mismatched chemistry gear she's got strewn about the table. Beakers, vials, this mysterious elixir locked up in a little glass box. A quill? Oompa Loompas take notes like wizards from the 1300s? I didn't know that. All right, now the other 2 characters that were at this thing, I gotta introduce you to at the same time because they're both in the same video clip. So let me introduce you to Willy Wonka and the Unknown.
What is that? It's the unknown.
Man, what the hell? Dude, fuck everything else. I would call the police based off of that. Who is that demon? Surprising twists and turns was right in the advertisement. I would not expect to take my kids to a Willy Wonka experience and have them be accosted by a shadow figure. I can tell you that right now. It's terrifying that Willy Wonka says, "What is that?" when he sees it.
What is that?
Like, dude, this is your chocolate factory. You don't even know what that is? We are so fucked. Here's a different clip of some other kids experiencing the unknown.
As the soup flavor full of scary face. Oh my God. Stare the great unknown. Wonderful. I love. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, that's the correct reaction to seeing the unknown. What is that? Wonka says it, this kid says it, I'm saying it. Also, I love that baby's reaction. That was like a primal instinct to make that sound. Humans have evolved for millions of years to make that sound when they see the unknown. According to some reports that I've read from the event, the unknown is supposed to be an evil chocolate maker who hides in the walls and scares little children. Is he a part of the actual Wonka story? No. Was it advertised that there would be a child-scaring monster at this event? No. But speaking of the advertising for the event, one of the most insane parts of this whole story is that this company that made this event, House of Illuminati, apparently used exclusively AI-generated images to advertise this event. Surprisingly, the website is still up, so you can go and check it out for yourself. Welcome to Willy's Chocolate Experience. Dive into the whimsical of Willy's Chocolate Experience! Exclamation point, comma. So you've got images like this, which at first look like some kind of fun candy land, but then the closer you look, it doesn't really make any sense. Like, what the fuck is this thing? Is that supposed to be a bunny? Who the hell is that? I don't like the looks of these things. But then you get images like this advertising the Twilight Tunnel, which are so clearly AI generated, it makes you wonder if the whole event was being run by an AI. Because how could a human not notice that there are so many typos in all of these images? You got dim tight, depractions, ungurrival, featuring dodjection and swide. Then you've got ensuring entertainment, which of course includes catgagatting, carchy tons, and a passidice of sweet teats. And on top of the website being seemingly designed by AI, apparently all of the actors' lines were too, which we know thanks to this video posted by the actor who played Willy Wonka.
I'm going to be poking a little bit of fun at the event, but I wanted to say before I start that I feel for anyone who bought tickets to this, people who are expecting a magical chocolate experience.
People who are unfortunately captured by the unknown, we hope you are found soon.
So the first red flag for me was when I was cast as Willy Wonka. Anyone who looks at me and thinks Willy Wonka and not Oompa Loompa is out of their mind. I give off major Oompa Loompa energy. I got cast as the part on the Thursday, and was told that I needed to learn the script for the Friday. So I said, no problem, send it over. The script was 15 pages, monologue, pretty much, of AI-generated gibberish.
You know what I'm kind of curious about? If the script was AI-generated, where did the unknown come from? Did the event organizers just ask ChatGPT to generate a script about Willy Wonka's chocolate factory and it just threw that shit in? Cause that's terrifying. ChatGPT was like, planning an event for kids, huh? I know just the thing to add. Don't worry, I'm great with kids.
So I'll give you one of the lines from the script. I'm not going to do the Willy Wonka voice because I think I've embarrassed myself enough. But one of my favorite lines was, there is a man who lives here. His name is not known. So we call him the Unknown. The Unknown is an evil chocolate maker who lives in the walls. What? We were told on the experience to hand out a jelly bean, one jelly bean per child, and a quarter of a cup of Tesco's own brand lemonade.
One jelly bean? All that smoke the Oompa Loompa had to endure and she was just back there cranking out one jelly bean? Maybe the unknown was introduced as some way to canonically explain why there was no chocolate at the event. Sorry kids, there's no chocolate here today. An evil chocolate maker showed up and he shot the Oompa Loompas. They're dead now. So one of the Oompa Loompas from the event also posted a TikTok kind of poking fun at the whole experience, but the one actor we haven't heard from yet is the one that we all obviously want to talk to. The unknown. Unknown, we need to know your story. What was your inspiration for your performance? How did you get into character? The unknown must have had the worst time of any of the actors because, like, you got hired to do a performance of Willy Wonka and you got cast as a character that's not in Willy Wonka? Just like an evil spirit that lives in mirrors? And then your job for an entire day is to scare and confuse unsuspecting children who have no clue what they're in for. Every time a kid came around that corner, you just know The unknown was like, God damn it, I gotta traumatize another kid. The Oompa Loompa from the famous photo ended up doing an interview with Vulture where she describes the moment that children saw her for the first time, and it is very sad. Tell me about the moment as the kids started coming in. Did you see the innocence leave their eyes? They were quite upset. I think they were confused, but it was more the parents. I just looked at them, and I think they must have known when they looked at me. An older couple said to me, I really, really hope you get paid well for this. This sounds like she's describing people witnessing the wreckage of a tsunami or something. It's crazy. Each individual person that laid eyes on her had to take a second to mourn. When you say walk through, how long are we talking here to walk through this event? I'm telling you, this would have taken about 2 minutes. I've never experienced anything like this in my life. Dude, honestly, that's kind of smart because like 2 minutes isn't even long enough to process like the first stages of grief. You're getting these people in and out before they can even realize they got scammed, you know? They don't even know what the fuck just happened. After the police were called, people started getting refunded, the story blew up. The director of the company who put on this event did eventually apologize. I'm really shocked that the event had fallen short of the expectations of people on paper. Yeah, dude, on paper the event was awesome. No chocolate, abandoned warehouse, smoky Oompa, just like the movie. There was every intention to hold the event from the pictures. Despite not being the best light, hopefully you'll be able to see that there was every intention to hold the event. No, we know you were planning on holding the event. That's kind of the problem. I think a lot of people wish you didn't. Unfortunately, there were unforeseen circumstances and the event didn't come to life. He's like, we were not expecting that evil chocolate maker to show up. The unknown ruined the event. These issues were technological in nature. We had ordered a holographic paper that didn't arrive on time. The holographic technology in itself is absolutely fabulous technology, and unfortunately, there was a delay in postage. Holographic paper? No, I don't think that was the problem with the event, actually. The lack of holographic paper. Look, I don't know what holographic paper is, but based on his reliance on ChatGPT and Midjourney, I do not trust his opinion of absolutely fabulous technology. So I'm just gonna go ahead and assume the holographic paper would not have helped. Well, gang, this is surely an event that will go down in the history books. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Special delivery! What's up, Greg? You guys know how when you buy something online and then return it, it gets sent back to the warehouse, repackaged, and then sold to somebody else? Maybe you picture some kind of alternate evil version of you that likes really tight-fitting t-shirts? Yeah, that's not true. It turns out stores like Amazon realized a long time ago that it's actually a lot of work to look at each item that gets returned and try to figure out if it's broken or dirty or if Shadow Danny would even like it. So they thought of kind of an ingenious method to get rid of it all. They throw it in a landfill. That's where an estimated 6 billion pounds of returned items end up every year, but luckily, some of them escape this fate. Sitting in giant boxes in these third-party facilities across the country, these mysterious forgotten items cling to some sense of hope that they might find a new home. And I am very curious as to what's in these boxes. On Amazon, you can buy like anything, from a dancing monkey plush toy to a clapping monkey plush toy. And everything in between. So I want to get my cold, sweaty little hands on one of these boxes of Amazon returns, but I don't know how. So I reached out to Raleigh Williams, the host of the YouTube channel Climate Town. So Raleigh, you're working on a video about free returns right now, right?
Yeah, I saw this expose on a bunch of like brand new returns in a landfill and stores like throwing out cordless drills and perfectly new laptops and stuff. And I just thought like, we shouldn't be doing that. That shouldn't be how this system works. And so we've been reading up on it, and the reverse supply chain is not making me super optimistic.
How do free returns go from like me returning an item to these random warehouses across the country where they end up in these mystery boxes?
Yeah, so what's the last thing that you bought online?
I think I bought AirPods.
And you know how there was like an option on the AirPods to, if you buy this, you can get it delivered to your house right away? Like they'll put it into a cannon and fire it at your window?
Yeah, that's the option I picked because I needed them now.
So that doesn't really exist in reverse. You can't you don't have your own cannon to jam the AirPods in and fire it off back to Apple. So you put it into a box and then you ship it to what sort of seems like is back to the store, but it's not really going to the store, it's going to a thing called a returns center. So that's like this big ass warehouse where they get hundreds of thousands of returns from like all the crazy shit people bought from the internet. A lot of the returns get just thrown away at the dump. Some of the returns get donated, and then in some cases, they're gonna sell those returns to these bulk item liquidators. And this is kind of a good solution sometimes because you can actually get a little bit of money for those returns. So let's say you're like Sports Authority and you get a bunch of hockey sticks back. You can sell those to a bulk item liquidator for like pennies on how much they actually cost.
Got it. So it's only hockey sticks at these facilities then?
Oh my no, it is so many different items.
Hockey nets, hockey pucks,
goalie masks, hockey sticks. Did we say that one?
So all these boxes full of returns, who do they sell these to? Do people like me just come in and buy giant boxes of Amazon returns?
Yeah, there's a lot of liquidators that just have an open door policy, and it's like, bring your kids, let's make a Sunday out of this. Come on down and spend $400 on a box of random returns.
So I could just go to one of these places if I find one and just buy a box?
Yeah, this would actually be kind of a good section for my video that I'm making too. So maybe we'll just go to one together. I think it'd be a good challenge to see if you can actually resell the items in the box at a profit. To actually see if it's possible to like get your money back from the big box of returns that we buy.
Maybe at the end of the video too, whatever like profit I make, we can give to a charity or something. That'd be a cool way to end it.
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, I do want to manage your expectations. I don't know how much you're actually going to be able to get from selling these items off. So I don't know how much profit this box is going to generate.
It was the perfect plan. Given that this is actually a pretty common side hustle I'd seen before on YouTube, I figured I would have no problem turning a profit and donating said profit to charity. Some creators have actually gotten so successful flipping pallets that they've actually turned their operation into a full-time business.
Just 3 years ago, Mitch was selling furniture out of his garage.
Yes, I was.
Now we're in this 30,000 square foot place.
We did some research and found out there was a liquidation center not too far from where I live. So Raleigh hopped on a plane, and before we knew it, there we were, in a place filled to the brim with things that for some reason or another, someone thought they wanted, but then changed their mind. A baby car mirror so you could start a safe road trip with your lovely baby. A breast enhancer that takes 2 AAA batteries. I was captivated by the untold story behind each item. This place also had overstock items in bulk like $66,000 worth of pacifiers and hundreds of this one aquarium decoration. I don't mean to sound like Cotton Eye Joe when I say this, but where did all this stuff come from? And where will it go? Raleigh and I searched the grounds for a while, looking for a box that spoke to us. We walked down corridors of bubble makers and as seen on TV products. We thought these women's blouses were pirate shirts, but eventually, we found the box for us. Priced at just $340, this box was a hodgepodge of various Amazon returns. Big boxes, small boxes, a chewy box, a box of what appeared to be sweet and sour chicken. What rare, priceless gems could be waiting in here to uncover? We paid the fee, and a few hours later, the box was delivered. All right, guys, it's time to unbox the pallet. Honestly, I'm feeling pretty nervous about what's in here. I don't even know how many boxes are in here. I mean, what do you think, like 100?
I think like probably 25 to 30 boxes are in here.
Okay, so my guess was stupid then?
Well, no.
All right, box number 1.
This is a tent. We could do the rest of this video in a tent.
This is kind of sick. I'm liking this already, man. I'm not selling any of this stuff.
This is exactly one person's worth of tent, or 2 very good friends worth of tent.
And I like that if it's a clear night, you can see the stars from inside your tent. It's not going to protect you from bears or anything, but most tents don't. Oh, a pet gate.
Yeah, pet safety fence.
Wait, that's actually kind of sick. I might need one of these. I mean, I've got a baby that can crawl now. I also have dogs that crawl all the time. When dogs walk, is that called crawling? They're on all fours.
It's just walking. When a horse walks, is it called crawling? Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a Keurig. It's got the K right on top and everything. I wonder if it works.
Now I'm noticing, if you look right here, there's like a little bit of scuffing. Yeah, I think this might be a gently used Keurig.
As long as they used it gently. Oop, did a piece of... I lost a bit. I lost a bit of the Keurig. I'm going for the sweet and sour chicken.
Oh, baby.
Will it really be?
So this is an example of a return. Somebody has like put it in a different box probably, and they've returned a thing. So they almost certainly took it out of the packaging, lost the packaging, and then said, fuck it, I'm returning it anyway.
Oh, is it a vacuum maybe? I'm thinking, oh yeah, vacuum, little brush. It's a car vacuum.
That is great.
Maybe whoever ordered this wanted a car vacuum, and then between the time they ordered it and they got in a car crash and never wanted to set foot in a car again.
Okay, or positive version, They ordered this. It worked so good. Their car was so clean. They're like, I'm not gonna need this again.
They never needed
for another
it.
10 years.
I cleaned it so good that it's never gonna get dirty again.
All right, so this Chewy box was another one of the ones that like, it might be Chewy stuff or it might be...
Based on everything else so far, I'm gonna say it's not Chewy stuff. And also I can tell it's a rug just by looking at it.
It's also the way they've packaged it. It's like if Chewy packaged something like this and it came to your house, I would never shop at Chewy again.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's fucking Chewy, come on.
Dog treats spilling out the side. There's like tufts of dog hair stuck to the tape.
Hey, do me a favor, ask your fucking dog if he cares how it's packaged, all right?
Oh, it's soft though. Feel that rug.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it is some kind of, ooh.
Oh, this is nice. This is a nice padded floor.
For your doggy duffel bag. And it looks like someone did put their dog in there.
Yeah.
It's all furry.
Dog tested and returned.
Dog tested.
Disapproved of.
Dog disapproved.
Right.
A little rusty pan.
Is it rusted? Oh, no, that's the brand?
No,
it is rusted.
It is rusted.
Oh, geez.
So they must have used this a lot then.
Yeah.
They had this for 10 years and then sent it back to Amazon.
It feels terrible to say goodbye after 10 years, but...
I never liked it. Is this another rug?
Dear customer, if there is crease on carpet you received, please don't worry. This is a normal phenomenon of folding carpets in order to meet the needs of international transportation. We intimately included a small watering can.
Intimately?
In big, huge bowls to help you easily solve this abominable crease.
This crime against God of a crease.
There were a few staple categories in this particular palette. For example, a shocking amount of tents.
Could this be like a changing tent?
Oh, yeah, maybe it is. Yeah. I think I just found another tent.
We have an orange tent here.
Okay.
Also a bunch of rugs and 2 toilet accessories.
I could understand why Amazon wouldn't want to take this back.
Honestly, this one, I'm gonna give them a pass on this one.
But there was a category of items that worried me the most, and that was the items that I didn't even know what they were when I unboxed them.
Wait, whoa. I don't know what this is, but it says mind reader. This thing can read my...
Ah! Get out of my head!
Get out! I can hear your thoughts. Why would it be called a mind reader?
It's like, was this the coaster you wanted?
How did you know? Get out of my head!
Look at what, I don't know.
It's like a garbage bag?
I think so.
What the hell is this? Okay. And was it just like wood?
It's a plank of wood!
Wow.
And does it say on the back, this is a set, do not separate?
Oh, does it? This is a set, do not separate.
There is one thing in here.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to if I tried. I'd need an axe.
The more boxes we opened, my hope that we might find some cool, mysterious, rare item started to fade. People aren't constantly ordering cool doodads on Amazon and then returning them. As we came to find out, life is mundane, and so was a lot of the stuff in this box. Until we found this cool bird feeder.
A smart AI recognition bird feeder.
What does it recognize?
I think it recognizes the kind of bird.
Ooh, wait, that's actually kind of cool.
It's kind of cool. Maybe if it sees a squirrel, it won't like put anything out.
If it sees a squirrel, it shoots it. Okay, yeah, look at that. Bird seed comes down. Your little camera looks at him, says, blue jay detected. Wow, that's actually kind of cool.
That's great.
I could definitely find someone that wants to use this.
In total, there were 34 boxes, and without making a single dime yet, we had already spent 55 minutes taking it all out of the box. I'm not going to show us unboxing every single item, but if you're curious, here is a list with all 34 items we unboxed.
Battery low, your GoPro will automatically power off.
Wow.
That's weird.
Perfect timing.
Do I have a rectangle on my head?
It's a little one. It sort of looks like you're like Harry Potter's brother. He has like got a little rash on your head, but not the lightning bolt.
He like saw Harry get Avada Kedavra and he like ran away and just ran into a wall.
Yeah. The boy who goofed.
Yeah. That thing is heavy as hell.
I want to get this stuff listed on Facebook Marketplace as fast as possible, so I'm going to take inventory of everything in this box, look it up on Amazon, and find out how much it costed. That way I can list it on Facebook Marketplace for a fair price. And this will be really interesting to see because this box cost $340. So once I tally everything up, I can see how much I can potentially make off of all of this.
I've never had to think about how to properly photograph a toilet seat before. I don't know what people who are buying this thing are looking looking for? Like what's the best angle for this thing? You need to know how big the hole is for scale. I can put my hand there.
Once I got everything inventoried, the next thing I had to do is actually figure out how much everything is worth. It was actually really interesting to see what the most expensive items on here were, what the cheapest items on here were. The cheapest thing was the USB clip-on fan, and the most expensive thing was that cream and gray rug, which was $140. A couple of the items, I didn't even know what they were when I opened them, and searching around on Amazon, I was actually able to figure it out. So now I can actually list it on Facebook and not just be like, this is I don't know what this is. It's a piece of wood with a handle. The thing I'm referring to right there, I thought was a cabinet door.
Oh, is this a cabinet door?
But is actually some kind of stovetop cover. It's a piece of wood that you put on top of your stove when you're not using it. That way you have extra counter space. Seems a little bit dangerous, maybe. I don't know why they made it out of wood. That seems like maybe the exact wrong material to make it out of. Oh, the vertical tents, the standy-uppy tents are for privacy and showering in the woods. So I guess you just climb in there and you just dump water on yourself? Or maybe if you get some kind of hose to go in there. Yeah, it's for showering. It's not for sleeping standing up, surprisingly. So in total, the box cost $340 and there are 34 items, conveniently. It's almost like they did that on purpose. But basically, I have to sell everything for an average of $10 or more to break even or make a profit. But if I wanted to make the maximum amount of money possible, then I would make around $1,700. And then if you subtract the $340 that I bought the pallet for, or Raleigh bought the pallet for, really, then the profit would be $1,350. So that is the maximum amount of money I could make from this. 1,300 smackaroons. But as I'm sure you're aware, that's not how Facebook Marketplace works. I don't think I'm gonna be selling these for anywhere near the amount that you could get them for new. I wanna try to sell this for a good price, but I will also be battling with my other want, my secret want, which is to get all of this stuff out of my garage as quickly as possible. I can barely back my car into the garage right now because this box is so big. So there's like an angel and a devil on my shoulder right now. The angel saying, come on, Danny, let's make a profit. And the devil is saying, get that fucking box out of the car. I don't want it anymore. We don't need the box. Just drive the whole thing to Goodwill. They can figure out what to do with it there. And then I also, guess I also have to make sure some of this stuff works. I mean, there are electronics in here. Chainsaw, leaf blower toy, there's a Keurig, there's a vacuum. So it could be time for a product review section of the video!
Now, $1,350 is a serious chunk of change, and if I wasn't donating this to charity, I would definitely want to make sure that I keep my profits safe and maybe even put them to work for me. But how do I go about saving that much money? $1,300 isn't gonna fit in my pockets unless I buy more pants. That's why this video is sponsored by SoFi, which is... Oh, it's not pants. Okay. SoFi is a next-gen finance app, and they're gonna help you bank, borrow, and invest all in one place. And I bet you can guess where that place is. It's in the app. But don't just take my word for it. Listen to me in a suit. Having a child is awesome, but it is quite expensive, so when I'm not using my money, I like to make sure it's working for me and not just sitting there, which is why I love SoFi. With SoFi checking and savings, I can earn more money on my money. With direct deposit, I can earn 9 times the national savings rate. For those of you who are new to high-yield savings accounts, don't worry. Daddy's gonna walk you through it. It's basically an account that makes your money work harder for you by giving you something back in interest. Your typical savings account at your local bank earns you about 0.45% interest. Yeah, sorry big banks, that's not gonna cut it, because with my SoFi high yield savings account, I can earn more in 6 weeks than I would in an entire year in a big bank savings account. With SoFi checking and savings, you get paid up to 2 days early, pay no account fees, and can earn up to $300 when you sign up for direct deposit. So if you want to sign up, just click the link in the description or scan this QR code. It's made just for me to show you. Thanks to SoFi for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out SoFi. Let's go ahead and pop some batteries in these. Hey, and this way, whoever buys these is gonna get free batteries as well, which I don't think they came with. So I'm actually sort of performing a service here. I should charge people more than the Amazon list. And that's what makes me such a business-minded guy. Time for the moment of truth. Hedge trimmers. Whoa!
Okay, this one works. I didn't even mean to turn that on. I just, as I picked it up, I accidentally pulled the trigger. This one, it seems like doesn't want to do anything, and this one was so ready to work that the second I touched it, it was like, yes! There we go. Ooh, and it blows. Okay, well, we got 2 out of the 3. And if someone buys these, I can just ask them if they want that one, even if it doesn't work. Next up, this clip-on fan. It's actually rechargeable, so there's a USB-C here. And let's see if it has any power right now. Oh. Oh, it only spins while my finger is on the button, which definitely does not seem very convenient. But let's give it a charge. And then we'll see what's what. Luckily, I've got a spare charger laying around from the AI pin, and it's USB-C. So I can't say I never got anything out of buying it, but we'll give it a minute to charge. In the meantime, let's test out its clipping functionality. Hell yeah. Up next, oh no, golly. Is that really what I say when something surprising happens? Did I say, ooh, no, golly? No, golly! Having a child has turned my language all topsy-turvy. A few months ago, I definitely would have just said like, oh, fucking shit, as that thing fell over, you know, because I'm a cool guy, I swear. Okay, so this is the Keurig. Water. And now let's see if it'll just make me a hot cup of water. Guess I'll just do 8 fluid ounces here. Go. Does it know there's not a cup in here? Go! Why isn't it going? A Keurig starts going right away, right? You press it and it just starts going like... In my experience, every time I've used a Keurig, you press it and it goes right away. Okay, maybe it knows there's not a cup in here and it is mad about that. All right, let me see if I have a Keurig cup laying around. Found one. Maybe I have to put a mug here. Maybe it won't start unless it detects. Does it have mug detection technology? Okay, I think that this is also broken. Did I just buy a gigantic box of broken electronics? What do I do? What do I do with all this stuff? Amazon? I'm demanding you contact me to take all this stuff back and fix it and sell it again. I don't know how to fix a Keurig. I don't have the resources for that. Damn, dude. Golly. What did I say before? Oh no, golly. Ah! Smart AI recognition bird feeder. You get an automatic notification when you have a visitor. So you could get a notification that says like a cardinal's here or a hummingbird's here. How terrifying would it be if at like 4 a.m. you get a notification that's like Gary's here? You're like, who the fuck is Gary? You go on your phone, there's just a video of a man shoveling bird feed into his mouth. Thanks. I'm the CEO of this company. It tells me where all of them are, and I eat bird seed. Seat for the birds to hang out? Neat. Why doesn't this come with instructions? Okay, I have to scan the QR code to download the Bird Lover app from iOS or Android. Okay, so maybe the instructions will be on there. Bird Lover feeder. Bird Lover feeder? Shouldn't it just be a bird feeder? Starting to think a human being is actually gonna show up. Little old lady. Thank you for setting this up, young man. I love birds. And I'm so hungry. And now? Oh! I wonder what this little thing is here. That's the camera lens. And then what is this? Is it a big speaker? Play soothing noises for the birds. Soothing noises. Metro Boomin. Yo! Okay, look it. Oh, what kind of bird has showed up to the bird feeder today? Danny Bird. Okay, can I take a picture? Oh, I got a notification. Bird feeder camera has detected movement. I like that it's just saying that the smart bird feeder has detected movement. Obviously, it's not saying bird detected. It's like, we have detected something, but it's not a bird. You should probably just look for yourself to see. You're not gonna believe us if we tell you. It works! Man, I was worried about this one, because I actually feel like this thing's pretty cool, and I wanted it to work really bad, So why did someone return it then? That's the question. So many stories behind these boxes, you know? What happened in this person's life between when they ordered the AI bird feeder and when they returned the AI bird feeder? They suddenly started hating birds? Okay, surely by now the clip-on fan is charged, right? Let's take a look. Ooh, it is! It works! Okay. The clip-on fan works. In my effort to provide an excellent experience for my customers, I want to go beyond just the electronic items, okay? There are some non-electronic items that need my attention.
Actually, there's just one. It's the rug with the abominable crease. And guys, I have really bad news. There is not an abominable crease on this carpet. There are 2 abominable creases. Right here and right here. That is just abominable, man. Actually, looking at it like this, there's kind of more than 2 because there are some horizontal ones too. They're a little less severe, so I might not call them abominable, but I might call them like dastardly. But they did give me instructions on how to fix the crease, so I'm gonna try all of this, and then I should have a perfectly good rug to sell. Let me get some water. God, my finger is getting tired from spraying. This is such a tiny little sprayer that you have to spray so many times. Okay, I've spritzed it. Wait, why is it still completely full? It's like I didn't use any water. That's like how much I filled it up in the first place. What kind of magic watering can? Okay, well, we've got a soggy crease. I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm gonna give it a few days, just like the instructions recommend. And then hopefully this will be ready to sell. The last things I needed to test were the tents. Yeah, this is nice. This fits me. Yeah, I've got over a foot of headspace. Give you guys my POV. There's my little piggly wigglies. Plenty of room, man. Maybe they returned it because they thought they would fit in the tent, but they're 8 feet tall. All right, well, I'm gonna give this tent a 10 out of 10. A tent out of tent, actually. Whoa! Hi. So this is definitely some kind of privacy tent. I guess maybe for changing and stuff, if you're on a camp out with the boys and you're all sharing a tent and you don't want the boys to see your bare butthole when you're changing, then you get one of these set up and now you can go in here just like this, and now you can't even tell that my butthole's out. Okay, here's what it looks like inside the tent. I don't know, I've done a decent amount of camping in my day and I've never felt the need to have one of these vertical tents. I'm gonna have to give it, honestly, I'm gonna give it like a 4. It does what it's supposed to do, but I don't know why it does what it's supposed to do. So, yeah, oop. You know, being in this one when that happens would probably be scary. You're standing in there, you got your willy out, then it just blows away. All the boys are sitting around the campfire and suddenly you're just like, oh, I got the tent so this wouldn't happen. This last tent I was very confused about as I was putting it together. It's completely transparent, but has no ventilation. My suspicion was right that there is no ventilation in here. I mean, at least not without opening these windows. There are windows. Okay, so let me close this up and now we'll just sit for a second. We'll see. Well, okay, hang on. This is not even big enough to sleep in, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. No, it's not big enough at all. This must not be a camping tent. Must not be for sleeping. What other, is this, oh, maybe this tent is like to keep you warm because it is insanely hot in here. That's why I say that. So, yeah, I guess there's like no problems. Oh, there's sand in here. What the hell? Look at, there's sand all over here and dirt on the inside. Okay, someone for sure used this. Despite being a little worn, it does the job. So I gave it an 8. Out of 10. After all of that testing and reviewing, I was finally able to get everything up and listed on Facebook Marketplace, and a few days later, I got a message. It was Barbara, and she wanted my pet gate.
Hello, how are you?
So sorry I'm late.
Oh, that's okay.
Since I didn't want to give 34 strangers my address, I decided I would meet each customer at a nearby grocery store.
Well, let me show you the gate.
I have 2 little Yorkies.
Oh, cute. Yay! Yay!
And the next day, I met Irene to give her my landscaping lights.
Hello, Irene. Oh, sorry, did I scare you?
I 1000% did scare her. She screamed and jumped when I said her name, but that didn't matter because I had just made $23. Just about every day I was heading off to the grocery store parking lot to meet with yet another potential customer. I felt like I had the foundations of a real small business on my hands. Another day, another drive to the grocery store parking lot. Goodbye, sweet and sour chicken box. Goodbye. I was spending a decent amount of time driving to and from the grocery store and waiting at the grocery store, but that didn't really matter because I was making money, baby. I don't have the money, he paid me on Zelle. Alright, we're a few days in now. How are things looking? I don't know if my listings just took a while to get into Facebook's algorithm or something, but they weren't getting any interest for the first couple days. But then suddenly, on the second or third day, I started getting a ton of messages.
Just like that. And the messages are great because it means that I might be able to sell something, but it is also like really hard to keep track of. If you've ever sold anything on Facebook Marketplace before, you probably have dealt with this, but people will message you and then just disappear after you respond. Hi Danny, is this still available? You only have 4 pieces. They're talking about the pathway lights. There are only 4 of them. I don't know why they needed to tell me that. I know that. Don't shame me for how many pieces I have. Yes, are you interested? Yes, it's 4. And then they just completely ghosted me. They just messaged me to insult me. Hi, is this available? Yes, it is. Do you want it? I guess when you're buying things, you probably have so many options because there's probably, you know, there's a million rugs on Facebook Marketplace. So you don't have to treat one guy selling a rug very well. This person messaged me about the clear chair mat and said, are you ever in downtown Chicago? Even though I have my location listed on the listing, it is not downtown Chicago. I have it listed as pickup only. So I said, no, not really. And then I offered to meet him halfway in 2 different towns. And then he just stopped responding. No, sorry, I only want your ridiculously discounted product if you drive all the way to me and hand it to me. I'm not even gonna get out of bed, actually. You can just come in. And if all that wasn't bad enough, the crease is still there. All of them. Yep, this thing's been laying here days now. Probably a week, actually. And the creases haven't gone down a lick. So I'm sorry, but if anyone buys this rug, the crease is gonna become their problem. Alright? I'm not doing the crease. Every time I had a potential new sale on my hands, I had to dig into the box to find the item, which was surprisingly difficult. And I ended up having to use a shovel a few times to dig an item out from the bottom of the box. If I was gonna do this again, I would definitely invest in some other storage system like shelves, which might take up more space, but it would be so much easier to access the items. What really added insult to injury in this case is that the person who was requesting this item actually ghosted me right after I did this. But that's not even the worst part, because I actually have a much bigger concern about this box. And that concern is that the box is perhaps cursed. Firstly, after I reviewed all the electronic stuff in my office, I was moving the boxes around and a big spider crawled out of one. And it zoomed around, it took me forever to find, and luckily I was really chill about the whole thing. Secondly, anytime I've been doing anything with the box, I've been sneezing a lot. Ugh. What am I allergic to in this box? I don't want to know. And then I noticed that later that day, every time I've gone into the box, I have told Laura, I think I have a fever. This is like hours after I'm done using the box, but it's always on days where I did use the box. I just feel feverish. I have body aches, I feel exhausted. So I'm highly allergic to something in the box. I guess dust, although I've never been allergic to dust before. And then the third thing, which is the most concerning thing, a few days ago, I got a bunch of mosquito bites on my body. At least I thought they were mosquito bites at first, because they were just a bunch of itchy bites. But after a few days, they kept getting itchier and itchier, and you'll notice I'm itching one right now. And then they got really red, which doesn't happen to me with mosquito bites. The bite itself got red, and then the whole area around it got red. And they're starting to get better now, but you can still faintly see the redness around this one. I've got like 5 or 6 of these on my body. This is very concerning to me. So I don't know, maybe this is all kind of in my head, you know, maybe there's a spider in the box because it's in my garage and there's spiders in my garage. Maybe these bites are just mosquito bites and my body is reacting a weird way. Or maybe what is the more likely option, the box is cursed. But hey, baby, that's just more motivation to get rid of this stuff, huh? Sell it. Give the curse to someone else. But at the very least, I should be careful when I give people the boxes. I should probably check them all for big spiders and ancient magic before I give it to them. Yep, should be good. Sweet. All right, have a good day. Yeah, no problem. All right, I've just finished up another sale here, and I was just sitting here in the car doing some thinking, and I think I've decided that I don't like this one bit. In terms of side hustles, man, I don't think that this one is it. Look at all of the messages that I've received between today and midday yesterday. So many people that I need to coordinate with, and the chances are, based on all of these messages, I probably won't even sell anything. The ratio of messages I receive to products that I sell is probably like 40-1. I've spent so much time messaging people and I've sold 8 things. Out of the 34 things I have, it's been weeks and I've sold 8 things. And then when I do have an actual buyer, it's almost just as annoying to coordinate with them. I had another guy that I was selling something to. We were supposed to meet at 7 p.m. one day, but he messaged me at 5:30 and was like, hey, just to let you know, I'll be there in 20 minutes. I hope you're free. To which
which I responded, no, sorry, I'm not gonna be free until probably at least 6:45. And then he messaged me when he arrived at 5:50 and said, okay, I'm here. Oh no, I didn't see your message because I was driving. Can you come anyway? But it was all worth it in the end because I sold the desk chair mat for $15. And as he was typing my information into Zelle, he also asked if he could have a discount. And I gave him one. Guys, I'm not good at this. Now, to be fair, this is completely my fault. I signed up to do this video. When Raleigh proposed, we did a collab, and I decided on this idea as my end of the collab. I had watched, I think one video about pallet flipping on Amazon, and I thought it looked easy. And I don't know where my critical thinking was when I watched this video, because watching it back in hindsight, there were definitely some red flags. This is a video called The Best Side Hustle No One Is Talking About, Flipping Amazon Return Pallets. It was made by this channel. They're a couple. They do a lot of Amazon pallet flipping, and so I thought it looked fun. And I think what really drew me in is this little bad boy right here, the MSRP counter. Every time they open a product to see what it is, they tally up how much it costs on Amazon, and they add that to the MSRP counter. By the time they're done unboxing the pallet, their MSRP counter is like $3,000 for a $500 box. So that's great, you know? They made $3,000. Except, no they didn't. They've unboxed a bunch of stuff and they've added up what it would have cost them to buy new. It's crazy that to me, opening a box for something that costs $100 means you made $100. That's how it worked in my brain. But no, of course it doesn't work that way. There's so much work that goes into this. You have to have a salesman brain. I don't have that. I actually think that this side hustle leverages like all of my weaknesses. Selling things, planning ahead, being organized. Those are all parts of my brain that I've always known I'm not good at. I like turning on a camera and making silly YouTube videos. That's the side of my brain that works properly. So what I should have done is maybe watched a couple of videos and then Googled other people's experiences trying to flip Amazon pallets, because then I would have found this. On the flipping subreddit, someone asked, what are your guys' experience with Amazon return pallets? My experience is that Amazon return pallets have ruined my local yard sale ads. Every other yard sale I go to ends up being someone who ordered one of these pallets. Stop watching YouTube videos. 99% of that crap you are watching talking about junk pallets is paid advertisement. You're gonna get broken junk and used dildos while all the good shit was picked out right before they loaded it on the truck. Sounds like this person has been hurt and disgusted. This person said, depending on where you live, there's probably many people already doing this. I actually think it's better to wait and buy from these people at yard sales when they're trying to unload their death pile of merchandise. So hold on, there's Amazon, then the warehouses, then the people buying the pallets, they can't sell them, so they do a yard sale. Then there's other people coming to the yard sale to flip that and sell it to other people. How deep does this chain go? And why do I feel like it somehow all eventually ends up in a landfill anyway? Knowing how many people are doing this and failing is also making it seem like there's no way I can sell all this stuff because obviously there's competition. There's other people probably selling the same stuff and they're probably better at selling than me. They're already 3 steps ahead of me. They're waiting for me to sell it at a garage sale so someone else can buy it and then that person throws it away eventually. They're waiting by the garbage can for them to throw it away so they can pick it up for free and then sell it for $1. But that's when I thought of the perfect plan. And I actually haven't thought of what the plan is, but I'm just gonna wait until I have thought about it, and then I'm gonna add that in with voiceover. Weeks went by after this. Each day that I would walk into my garage, I would be confronted by a giant box of my own failure. All of my so-called biggest weaknesses staring me in the face and preventing me from backing my car into my garage. Oh, on the plus side, I did learn that the mysterious bites I was getting weren't from the box at all. Apparently, due to the cicada uprising this year, there was also a surge in the population of a microscopic mite called oak leaf itch mites, which feed on cicada eggs and then bite YouTubers in the back of the knee when they're already going through a pretty tough time. I was letting nearly all of my messages go unanswered at this point. I had resigned to not making a profit, which at this point meant I would not be donating to charity. In fact, I would have to steal $180 from charity. I started researching which charities it would be most ethical to steal from when suddenly I remembered something. Something that gave me the idea for the perfect plan. My experience is that Amazon return pallets have ruined my local yard sale ads. All right, this is the beginning of the garage sale long shot. you. You know what I think you'd love? A tall green tent. Pleasure doing business with you. Cha-ching. Another satisfied customer. I'm on a roll.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Yes.
I thought she was going to want the bird feeder. She looked like the perfect candidate for the bird feeder. She actually laughed at the idea. She asked about it, I told her what it was, and then she laughed at me and said, "That's hilarious." And then she left.
Excuse me, are you interested in a break orange tent or raised toilet seat?
Maybe she'll be back later. She's got to go get her purse.
Or a clip-on fan? Or an AI bird feeder?
Well, it didn't go as well as I thought it was going to, so that's great. I don't know, man. I had this idea that if I set up a garage sale and had people coming through, I would just be selling item after item, and it would all be gone by the end of the day. But I sold, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, and I was there for about 6 hours. And I think 2 or 3 of those was just one guy. He bought one thing and then he came back for more because he told his daughter that he met a YouTuber and his daughter knew who I was, so he wanted to buy more stuff for her. So if that hadn't happened, I would have sold even less. As of right now, I have sold $303 worth of products. That means that I'm only like $37 away from breaking even. So if I could just make $37, that would be fantastic. And you might think that's not very much work. That's only, you know, like a couple more things. But guys, I have other things to do. I have other videos to work on. I actually took a break from this for like a month. The garage sale was like a month ago because I had to work on the copycats video. But luckily, I remembered a rule called the 80-20 rule, okay? 20% of your work is gonna yield you 80% of your results. And this rule applies for all sorts of things in life, you know? In a classroom, maybe 80% of the trouble is caused by 20% of the kids. In customer service, probably 80% of your calls are from 20% of your customers. And if I apply that to this, maybe 80% of my profit can be from 20% of my products. I need to be focusing on the few products that are gonna yield me that last $37. So if I just look at the 3 most expensive products that I still have on my list, I have the rug, which on Amazon is $150, the raised toilet seat, which on Amazon was $80, and the marble toilet seat, which was $90. I need to focus on the stuff that's gonna bring in the big bucks, because I have like 16 or 17 products still listed, and if I am trying to field messages and coordinate with people for all of those products, I'm gonna go insane. So I fished the big rug and the 2 toilet seats out. I have stepped on it. This was years later, by the way. Anyway, by now you're probably wondering, who the hell is this guy? Is this Justin Bieber? Because I know they dated. That's what I thought at first. I thought, is this what Justin Bieber looks like now? But no, this guy's name is Dustin Tyler, and I scrolled through his page to try to figure out who this guy is, and here's what I came up with. It's coming soon, but just like Oklahoma, mine is coming sooner. I'm just a late bloomer. Okay, so I didn't know who this guy was at first, but luckily there's a logo in the corner that says Victorious. Apparently this guy was a character on Victorious. At first, I did think this was Andy Samberg from 2006, but he was a character, let's see, Victorious puppet guy. He was this guy. Robbie Shapiro is one of Tori's friends at Hollywood Arts, and he's got a few videos where he does sort of a glow up. He's like, this is what I used to look like back when I was on Victorious, and this is what I look like now. Don't I look so different? And then I was like, okay, this makes sense now. So this guy used to be on like an old Nickelodeon show, and so he was probably in with the Nick kids and the Disney kids, and so that's how he knew Selena Gomez, and that's how they dated, right? It all makes sense. However, after reading the comments on these TikToks, I came to discover that this guy, this man, is not the guy from Victorious. These are 2 different people. He's just straight up lying about everything. He's not that guy. He didn't date Selena Gomez. His page is full of lies. And to be honest, he's not lying very well, mind you, because the actual guy from Victorious, his name is Matt Bennett, and he has a TikTok account, and if you wanted to pretend to be him, you could at least make your name on TikTok Matt Bennett. I think that would make people believe you a lot more if you really wanted to trick people. But he didn't. He just made he just kept his real name. Dustin Tyler. That's me.
Please don't Google my name. So this dude's whole thing, apparently, is just like making shit up on TikTok and then hoping it goes viral because people are kind of like, whoa, you used to be the guy from Victorious? Or whoa, you used to date Selena Gomez? And now you'd rather kill yourself than date her again? That's crazy. It's also funny now that he says that he friend-zoned Selena Gomez, because that would imply that, like, they are now friends, you know? And this is a pretty fucked up thing to say about your friend. Date Selena Gomez again, dude? Oh, that's, disgusting, dude. That fucking, I hate that girl. I hate her. I would not touch her with a 10-foot pole. She's crazy. And she's my best friend. But again, it turns out that he did not friend zone her at all. Maybe he stranger zoned her. He friend zoned her so hard that they don't even know each other. And never did. This is kind of interesting to me because this is sort of playing off an existing trend on TikTok where people will post like that they have some sort of past or current relationship with a celebrity, like my uncle is Tom Cruise, or like my grandma is Sandra Bullock. And like TikToks like these will go viral because people are just like weirdly obsessed with stuff like that. The comments are always like, holy shit, I didn't know Tom Cruise had a family. I'm not really sure why people are so surprised about it. I understand just being like, yeah, I never really thought about like what Tom Cruise's cousin would be like before. But then again, why would you, you know? Like, I can't imagine why you'd ever be in like a Mission Impossible movie wondering like, I wonder who the guy who plays this character's cousin is. What's that guy like? What's he up to? So I guess it's just surprising to like see him. But it's not really surprising to find out that he does have a cousin. I don't think we're all under the impression that, like, Chris Pratt just showed up out of, like, just came about through natural causes. If you just search on TikTok, I think famous relative check, lots of videos will come up about being related to Charli D'Amelio or Bob Saget. Okay, this guy is saying that his mom is Flo from Progressive. This is kind of like a popular thing on TikTok, and anytime like a big celebrity has some cousin post about them, it goes viral. But the downside to blowing up in this fashion is that it's kind of hard to keep this momentum going, you know? Most people don't have multiple famous relatives, so you can't just keep posting about like having more famous relatives. I mean, I guess if your cousin was Justin Bieber, you could just sort of keep filming him at every like family get together. But you are kind of just limited to one famous person, which is where I think this guy Dustin Tyler has it all figured out, because he doesn't just pick one celebrity to be related to. He'll lie about being related to anybody in a multitude of ways. Now, I should say that in this dude's profile, it does say jokes/satire. So he is covering his bases just in case someone tries to like sue him for whatever that would be, lying. Being weird. In case anybody tries to sue me for being a little bit strange, it's all jokes. Also, all of his TikToks about like dating famous women are about him friend zoning them. Or like him like dating them and being like, yeah, I dated like the most famous woman in the world. It was trash. Low-key, I'm a little bit out of her league. I mean, look at me, dude. I've got tattoos and I live in a hallway. And he kind of tries to disguise it as sort of like self-deprecating, like, oh, what an idiot I am. I dated the most famous pop star in the world, and I was too good for her, and I broke her heart, ripped it to smithereens, and now I kind of regret it. Dope, I'm so stupid. Oopsie. And this is all of his content. Then like his whole friend group must just be famous pop stars, right? If he's friend zoning all of these girls and they're just his friends now. Maybe this is the only way he knows how to make friends.
Put your back into it, tell us why, show us how. Look at where you came from, look at you now.
The caption for that one is, this is what I look like when I friend-zoned Ariana Grande. Okay, that one's not even trying to disguise it as like a self-deprecating joke. That one's just like, look at how ugly I was when I friend-zoned a literal pop music icon. And now look at how hot I am. I can't decide how I feel about this, because on one hand it's kind of creepy, but it also is kind of funny that he's just like pretending to be dating all of these famous people. I will say, very disrespectful to the guy from Victorious. The fact that he's using this guy's picture to be like his past ugly self and being like, but now don't worry guys, now I'm hot. I don't look like that ugly ass dweeb anymore. And he's like showing a picture that's not even him, it's some other guy. And he's also kind of like lying about things that that guy did too now. He just starts assigning all of this horrible shit to this guy that's not even him. Yeah, this is what I looked like back when I robbed that bank. Can you believe this is what I looked like back then? Damn, that was the same year I blew up that hospital too. Shit, I've really changed since then. My name is Matt Bennett, by the way, and I did all those things. People just walk away from those videos being like, wow, that guy who played that kid in Victorious is kind of an asshole. Also, one of the weirdest things about this is he also posts all of these TikToks on Instagram, and he's verified on Instagram, which seems very weird because literally all he does is pretend to be other people, and somehow that gets him verified. But he does, in fairness, also say jokes and satire in his Instagram description. So when Instagram verified him, what they're saying is, don't worry, guys, this really is the guy who pretends to be the guy from Victorious. If you're wondering if this guy really is who he says he is really the guy that pretends to date Selena Gomez. They do get a little bit creepier though. This one is like that sound that's like, back in the day, me and you, baby, we used to have fun. And it says, my mind when I bump into Ariana Grande when she's with her husband with like a emoji. Imagine this guy that Ariana Grande's never met before bumping into her in public with her husband. Remember me? It's like, I've never seen you before in my life. Oh, the fun we used to have. If he keeps making TikToks like these are only going to get progressively more and more creepy the more like life changes Ariana Grande goes through. The next one's like me following Ariana Grande's daughter home from elementary school to tell her about all the good times me and her mom had. Me in court while Ariana Grande's trying to file a restraining order against me. And if you wonder if I hate you, imagine Ariana Grande's husband, like, just randomly stumbling across this TikTok. What the fuck? I don't even know this guy. Imagine if he sees all the other TikToks and, like, believes them, because he doesn't know. Babe, who is this guy? And she's like, I have no idea. And he's like, bullshit. You're just saying that. You're lying to me. This guy friend-zoned you, and now he hates me. And she's like, no, I literally have no idea who that guy is. He's lying. You obviously do know him. He was on Victorious. That guy was not on Victorious. You are so full of shit. He's verified on Instagram, babe. Okay, that one just throws off the whole thing. I thought he wanted Ariana Grande back. And all the other TikToks, he's like, damn, I wish I never friend-zoned her. And now he's saying I would never date her again? How do you reconcile those two? Oh, I wish I didn't friend-zone Ariana Grande. I wish I killed her. These are getting a little creepy, kind of like bringing her husband into it. There's one comment under this TikTok that says, you're using her name a little too much, I think. And he commented under it, I'm obsessed with her. I'm not using her name too much. I'm obsessed with her. I think I'm using it an appropriate amount. How am I supposed to stop using her name if I can't stop thinking about her? How does that make any sense? Again, I get that this is all a bit, you know, it's all jokes and satire, but I do feel like he may be taking the bit a little bit too far and committing a little bit too hard to the bit now. He's gonna get arrested and be like, that video that I posted of me over Ariana Grande and her husband sleeping was a joke. I was making fun of someone who would do that. The knife in my hand was a goof. You wanna know the craziest thing about this? Is all this dude does is pretend to be other people and pretend to be related to other people. And he has 1.7 million followers on TikTok. You know John Legend? Like an actual famous person just started a TikTok. You know how many followers he has? He's got 1.6 million followers. He's got less followers than someone pretending to be related to somebody famous. Dustin Tyler has 4 times as many followers as the actual guy from Victorious. Matt Bennett has 400,000 followers, and a guy pretending to be him has 4 times more. It's like, how do you get more followers by making TikToks about being like related to somebody than you do by being that guy? He hasn't just pretended to date celebrities, he also has pretended to be Keanu Reeves' son.
People, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Santa's coming to town.
And a lot of them have this kind of theme where like people and like potential girlfriends only like him because he's Keanu Reeves' son. And I just think it's kind of funny that in this fictional world where he can make up anything, he picks such a sad reality for himself. He picks these worlds where like he turned away the love of his life, Ariana Grande, and now he's bitter and he despises her husband. And he picks this world where Keanu Reeves is his dad, but like he can't really be sure if anyone actually likes him for him because everyone's just so obsessed with Keanu Reeves. He's turning his life into a tragedy.
He's made a tragedy of himself. Also, I think it's kind of funny that in this scenario, it seems like the she that this video is talking about would be Ariana Grande. You know how Ariana Grande is obsessed with Keanu Reeves and that's a thing about her?
Screaming, crying.
Also, I want to know where he's making these TikToks. He's always either like in a hallway or in a storage closet. I feel like I'm way more interested than his life than like whatever fantasy land he's coming up with. I feel like he's making these at work. Whatever job this guy works, I must be the most boring job in the world. I get daydreaming about like dating Ariana Grande or like having a famous parent, but then like daydreaming and fantasizing about like dating Selena Gomez, but it was trash. It's like you've gone through everything else there is to daydream about. And now all you have to daydream about is like, what if people only liked me because my dad was in the Matrix? Anyway, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this creepy or normal? Is this creepy behavior or is this all in good fun? And it's just kind of like a silly guy being goofy and wacky. Let me know. Anyway, thank you so much to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. Guys, live events are back and you're gonna be going back to them in style. You wanna know why? Because thanks to SeatGeek, you can save $20 using my code GREG on SeatGeek. If you don't know what SeatGeek is, it's basically an app for your butt. And what I mean by that is it helps get your butt in some dope-ass seat. SeatGeek is a ticketing app. It helps you get tickets in the easiest way possible. I've got the app on my phone. I've used it to get tickets to a variety of shows in the past, and I really like how it tells you whether or not you're getting a good deal on tickets. It basically color codes the seats and the tickets so you know whether you're getting a good deal or a bad deal. Green means good, red means stop. Whether it's concerts, baseball, basketball, football, etc., whatever you're into that has tickets, you can probably find it on SeatGeek. I personally am going to an Oliver Tree show in February, which I'm very excited about. Got the tickets on SeatGeek. It was super easy to do. And again, thanks to SeatGeek sponsoring this video using the promo code GREG, you can get $20 off tickets from SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase if you use my code GREG, and make sure you click the link in the description to download the app. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out SeatGeek. Bye. This is Love on a Leash. I think it is the worst movie I have ever seen. Other movies I've watched on this channel have had their issues. Sure, they've had plot holes. They've had terrible pacing. They've had Noah Centineo, yeah. But this movie, Love on a Leash, is just different. This movie fails in every possible category. This movie is bad at even being a movie. Look at the poster. You can probably tell what the movie is about just by looking at the poster. And yes, it is as bad as you think. This movie came out in 2011. It is about a woman falling in love with a dog. It's sort of like Beauty and the Beast. And you'd think, oh, it's not a beast, it's just a dog. So maybe he won't be as bad as the Beast. No, he's way worse than the Beast. You're gonna hate this dog by the time the movie is over. And this movie has a lot of not great themes, so please be cautious while watching this movie. It's nothing like graphic. I'm not gonna show anything that would be like rated R, but just beware. Now, if you think I'm over exaggerating about how bad this movie is, let's just take the intro, for example, because this movie starts with utter silence. We get this opening montage with no music, no sound, just dog. And it lasts for a cool 1 minute and 12 seconds before we get any sort of dialogue, and that is because this movie has no soundtrack. And you might be thinking like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. Kind of like an avant-garde choice to intentionally make a film with no music throughout. And I don't think it was intentional, because there's definitely spots where there's supposed to be music. Also, in the opening credits, there is a composer credited. Wait, the composer's name is Peter Davison? Ooh, skeet! Can this motherfucker keep his hands out of anything? Try not ruining one movie, Pete Davidson. Okay, just kidding, but seriously, why is there a composer credited? Did they have a soundtrack composed for this movie and then just forget to put it in? Did Peter Davison take their money and then ghost them? And then putting him in the credits is like a slight dig at him? Oh yeah, you like the soundtrack in this movie? You like the ambiance that it adds? Thanks so much. Peter Davison did it. If you have a movie and you want to hire someone who you will pay thousands of dollars to only for them to run off to Greece with your wife, then hire Peter Davison. But enough talking about the soundtrack, because there is none. It's time to meet our protagonist, a horny dog named Alvin Flang.
Where are the ladies at?
Gross. In this opening montage, we see Alvin walking around the park a little bit, supposedly looking for girls.
Oh, here is one.
Being homophobic.
Hey, lay off, man. I'm not gay.
And then getting rejected by a girl.
Ugh, that's messed up. It's because I'm a dog, isn't it?
That she doesn't want to fuck you? Yeah, dude, I think it's because you're a dog. While recovering from this brutal rejection, Alvin goes over to a pond to sulk, and the pond starts talking to him.
Come back. Find a girl.
Girl?
If she only loves you, you may have a chance.
Find a girl? That's my specialty.
So as you might have noticed, this movie starts off with zero context whatsoever. We don't know who the fuck this dog is. We don't know why he has a human brain. We don't know where Peter Davison is and when he's gonna send over the finalized soundtrack for the movie. And the director just assumes that we, as the audience, have enough info to go off of to be on the dog's side here. Okay, first off, tell us why he's a dog. I'm not gonna root for this guy unless you tell me why he's cursed to be in a dog's body. There's obviously a reason, and I'm not just gonna start rooting for a horny, homophobic dog for no reason. But I guess I'm just kind of special like that. And you might think, oh, they're probably about to explain it, right? But no. It's like halfway into the movie before they finally tell you what the fuck is up with this dog and why he's a dog. Anyway, so now he's off to find a girl that's in love with him. And first off, can I just say, this movie came out in 2011, and they definitely had better cameras than this in 2011. This movie was clearly made on like a shoestring budget. This movie gives off the vibe that like all the actors are just the director's friend. This dog is just the director's dog. The dog is clearly not like a professionally trained dog actor. The dog just kind of does whatever, and then they add in human voiceover over it to kind of explain what the dog is thinking, which 9 times out of 10 does not match up with what the dog is doing. Okay, so he's on his quest. The pond has given him a mission. He can maybe change into a human if he finds a girl. This is the main mission of the movie. He's gotta find a girl and get her to fall in love. Just one quick question. How is he supposed to do that? That's gross. And even if he does somehow find a girl that's into dogs, do you have any idea how pissed off she's gonna be when he turns from a dog into a human? She's gonna be so mad. Anyway, he finds this girl named Lisa, and he decides to get her attention by making himself look all dirty and beaten up, and she ends up taking him into her home. Lisa is introduced as kind of a traditional girl. She has a friend who's always trying to get attention from guys, and it doesn't matter what kind of guy she gets attention from. She's always going out and partying, but Lisa is different. Lisa is waiting for the right man to come along and sweep her off her feet. And this summer, the right man just might be a fucking dog. Next, we get to see Lisa at work. She works at a department store and she's helping this woman try on a dress.
Ma'am, I told you that dress was too small for you.
No, it's because I'm sweaty.
Why do I feel like those sound effects weren't in the script? Why do I feel like the script didn't say woman tries on dress and farts in the camera? I feel like that wasn't written in. I feel like the actor didn't know that was gonna happen. Seems very mean. Seems especially mean when you remember that the person who edited the sound in this movie literally didn't do anything else. He didn't add in music, that's for sure. He was just like, this woman's big butt makes fart noises, and then he went home.
Miss, I'm sorry. This dress is too tight for you. I can't sell it to you.
What? Okay, I feel like they want to make Lisa seem like the reasonable one here. Like the lady is being totally unreasonable. But this is kind of fucked up, right? To be like, no, I can't sell you this dress. Sorry. It doesn't fit you and it never will. So, sorry, maybe lose a few pounds before you come back into my store.
How about being my roommate? Huh?
Okay, you pay the rent and I'll sniff my butt.
Okay, wait. Is Alvin Flang a human trapped in a dog's body? Or is he just a dog? Because that was a very dog thing to say. They haven't explained anything yet. So in the lore of this movie, like, is this just how all dogs are? All dogs have these, like, human internal monologues and want to turn into humans so they can have romantic relationships with humans? Or is he a human trapped in a dog's body who just happens to like sniffing his butt? From there, Alvin and Lisa start to share some very fond memories. Like Lisa trying to name him Prince and him insisting that his name is Alvin Flang.
My name is Alvin Flang.
Well, okay, maybe something a little more class.
Like Alvin Flang.
And Lisa joking that he should buy her a dress and him saying that he'd rather kill himself.
I can't afford it.
Unless you're buying.
I'd rather kill myself.
What's funny about that line is that the thing that would make him want to kill himself isn't being cursed to live your entire life as a human trapped in a dog's body. It's buying a dress for a pretty girl. Over the course of the movie, there are a few other men that pursue Lisa romantically. There's Kyle, who she works with, and there's Frank, who kind of stalks her while she works. And because Lisa's having a hard time finding a husband, she decides, you know what, I'll go on a date with these guys. So she goes on a date with Frank, and on their first date, he ends up bringing his mom, who just grills her the entire time.
Lisa, my grandson is only 10 years old, and we're very anxious to find a stepmother for him. This child has been raised using the latest scientific technology in nutrition, education, and psychology.
What does that mean? This child was raised by robots. He needs another human in his life. He is cold, hollow, and violent. He needs to learn love from a human woman. Many women have tried and unfortunately met their demise.
He has an IQ of 170.
Yeah, no shit. We raised him using the latest technology. He's not just any regular iPad baby, okay? We used the newest iPad, so that makes him very smart.
And to be certain that he grows up to become president of the United States, we must ask a specific request to any prospective stepmother. She cannot have any children of her own.
What?
Furthermore, in order for her to not become pregnant, she must agree to have her tubes tied before the marriage.
Saying we need to make certain implies that they're already like pretty sure that the son is gonna be president. They just need to make sure all their ducks are in a row, which I guess is fair. They have been using the coolest, latest doodads. They raised this kid in a self-driving Tesla, baby. What is this logic? Is every president an only child? I don't even follow what she's saying with this. Maybe she doesn't want Lisa's attention divided between multiple children, but this is just such a weird plot development. This has nothing to do with what's going on in the movie. How is a man trapped in a dog's body the least interesting thing that's happening in this movie right now? So obviously this date doesn't go well, so she ends up going on a date with Kyle, where Kyle comes over, tells Lisa that he's gay, but he still wants to get married because his family will disown him if he doesn't marry a woman, and he's very rich, so he can provide for her. All in all, Lisa is not having good luck with men, but this summer, she might have good luck with a fucking dog. What happens next in this movie is insane and very uncomfortable. After Kyle leaves, Lisa's just chilling, and her manager from the store comes in, very drunk, and tries to have his way with Lisa.
Lisa. Back off, she's mine.
Okay, dude, that's a pretty insane thing to say when a girl is getting assaulted, right?
You're fired!
I quit!
Now I'm the king of the castle.
This is such a weird moment to infuse like a comedic relief dog with the plot. This movie just got so dark, and the dog is like, guess I'm the only guy left around here now, huh? Guess I'm sort of king of the castle. Yeah, bro, I hate you. Ever thought about that? Ever thought about the fact that you suck ass so hard?
King of the castle! King of the castle that's also a dog and lives in a house that is green.
Why is he gay? Why is Kyle gay?
Sorry, that's what she's taking away from all this? Huh? Why is Kyle gay? Bro, there are more pressing issues right now. What is the writer of this movie doing? Anyway, she's completely broken down at this point. She ends up running outside into the rain, sitting down in the grass, crying with her dog, and she decides, you know what? That's it. No more men. Men are nothing but trouble. All I want is my dog.
From now on, no more men. I'm gonna stay with you. Only you. We'll live together forever.
Shebang!
I think that might be my favorite transition of all time. As a dog, he yells, shebang! So you'd think that as a human, he'd be standing there all proud of himself, maybe like, shebang! But he's just looking down at her with the blankest stare. Uh-oh. He doesn't look like he's got any thoughts behind those eyes. Maybe he was just a dog all along, and now he's a human with a dog brain. From here, the movie makes a super strange tonal shift from like a goofy comedy to like this really intense romance movie where they're in the rain. For some reason, Alvin, who now only goes by Prince for some reason, for the rest of the movie, they pretty much exclusively refer to him as Prince. He is not a goofy dog anymore. He's this like romantic romantic man who's like, I just want to be your husband now. Let me love you. The guy who plays the human version of Prince isn't even the same guy that did the voice of the dog, and they act way different. He went from being like, hey, scratch my belly, babe, I'm trying to get laid, to like acting like Anakin Skywalker from Attack of the Clones.
I don't like Sam.
And I don't know about you guys, but I miss the old Prince. This one's probably not even horny all the time.
Don't be afraid. It's really me, your dog.
Don't be afraid. You have no reason to be afraid. It's me, your dog. If my dog did this, I would be fucking terrified. Hey, don't worry, it's me. The one who tries to hump your leg all the time, it's me. Don't worry, I'm a man, I'm a grown man now. And I still want to fuck your leg. So they're standing in the rain. Lisa is so confused that she passes out for like 3 seconds. She is not taking this well, but we do finally get an explanation as to why Prince was a dog.
In my past life, I was punished for being a cheating playboy. I was cursed to live as a dog.
Oh, so it's like a reincarnation thing. Finally, they explain this. At first, I thought that it was like in the same lifetime. Like he got cursed to be a dog in this lifetime. But no, it's a reincarnation thing. I am confused about the lore of the movie. Does that mean this could happen with any dog? Are all dogs like used to be people that fucked up in this life and now they're dogs? Or are some dogs maybe like a hamster that did really good in its life? Which I would imagine is probably a lot of hamsters. I feel like it's pretty hard to fuck up as a hamster. I wouldn't think there's much expectations of a hamster, really. It's all about expectations.
Let me be your husband.
God, thanks for answering my prayer. Yeah, you're my husband.
What? Huh? Okay, so that's all it takes? She's like, yeah, I guess you were a pretty good dog who I met just weeks ago. Sure, you're my husband now. So they end up getting married. They decide to live together. They spend the night together, but that's when this movie goes completely off the rails. I thought this was like the main plot line. He found love, now he's a human forever. Nope, the curse is not broken, and you will not guess how this movie ends. The next day, Prince wakes up, and he's a dog again. So he goes back to the pond to find out why.
You lied to me. I'm still a dog.
You're just using her now.
So the magic pond is like, you were just using her to break the curse. And to be fair to Prince, like, yeah, no shit. He didn't want to be a dog anymore, so he did what you said to do to break the curse. They fell in love, dude. You can't be like, well, you only did that because I told you to. And it's like, yeah, you didn't really give him a choice, did you? So now the pond tells him that he'll only be a human when the sun is not shining. And in order to become a human full time, he has to be a real man and provide for his wife. This movie has very traditional views of what it means to be a man. What is this pond? What magic is this? Is this God? It kind of seems like she's a liar. She keeps adding on caveats to what he needs to do to become a human. She's like, okay, you found love, but you still don't have a joint bank account. So now you will be cursed to be a dog only every other day, except the last Tuesday of the month. This whole situation causes a lot of shenanigans to ensue. He's got to figure out how to make money. He's got to like meet Lisa's family, but he can only come out when the sun's not shining, otherwise he'll turn back into a dog like he does in this scene.
Dad, Prince just became a dog.
Big deal. I'm Alvin Schwein. How stupid. What kind of idiot doesn't know how to swim? All right, grab on, you pizza-faced cinderblock.
Pizza-faced cinderblock? Dude, that's so mean. What the hell is up with this dog? Why is his dog persona so vastly different than his human persona? Every time he turns back into a dog, he's like, what, you never seen a man turn into a dog before? Fuck you, I'm Alvin Flame. Screw you and this ugly-ass broad. I'm out of here, dude. Okay. We're here. We're at the end of the movie. We have arrived. Do you want to know what happens? Prince, I guess, just can't seem to figure out this whole, like, providing for his wife thing, and to be fair, he is a dog most of the time. But he realizes, wait, maybe if I just die, I'll be reincarnated as a human. A pretty bold assumption, honestly. They don't explain why they would think that. It seems like he has absolutely no reason at all to think that's true. The pond never said that, and I'm pretty sure she's God. It seems like she makes the rules. But he turns into a dog, he runs off, and he gets hit by a car. Ah, the old Marmaduke special, ending the movie with a dead dog. And this summer, she might just find luck with a dead dog. And you know what's interesting about all this? Is that at one point in the movie, he actually does buy her that dress from earlier. So I guess the prophecy was kind of true in a way. He did buy her the dress, and he did kill himself. So then we flash forward to years later, the movie says, and Lisa is old as hell. It looks like maybe like 20, 30 years have passed. And Prince, who has been reincarnated and then lived his whole ass life, so he's now as old as he was when he died before, shows back up.
What took you so long to come back?
Lisa, it's better that you don't know.
He turned old. The love made him turn old. Or the magic or the pawn made him turn old. I don't know. I don't understand any of the lore in this movie. One thing's for sure though, dude. Do not let this guy turn back into a dog now, because he'd still be like 80 years old. And that is too old for a dog.
I have a dog training business. And naturally, it's very successful.
I guess you could say I know what dogs like, and I know how to reward them. You see, they're all former sex criminals.
I live a very comfortable life, but...
Okay, weird flex. I'm actually really rich now, by the way. And that, folks, is the end of the movie. He kills himself, and that, apparently, outsmarts the pawn. Moral of the story? Pretty easy to outsmart a pawn. All right, well now it's time to talk about our sponsor, HelloFresh. This video has been sponsored by HelloFresh. With mine and Laura's busy schedules, HelloFresh makes our lives so much easier. We don't have to go out grocery shopping as much, we don't have to spend as much time meal prepping, and I'm constantly learning new things that up my personal cooking game. For example, today I was cooking these pork tacos and it had a fun little tip in there about how to warm up your tortillas in the microwave without like totally destroying them, which is really nice. You can enjoy the freshest flavors of fall with HelloFresh because every recipe includes ripe, just picked produce that travels from the farm to your door in less than a week. HelloFresh can adapt to just about any lifestyle. They have veggie, pescatarian, fit and wholesome meals so you can stick to your goals. And they even have a line of kid-friendly recipes which they say are picky eater proof. So if you have a kid or you just, you know, have a less adventurous appetite, but still want to cook fresh meals, then that seems huge, honestly. And the fact that it's 72% cheaper than dining out or grocery shopping makes it a very economical decision. So if you want to check out HelloFresh, then head on over to HelloFresh.com and use my code TrulyGreg16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 free gifts. That's HelloFresh.com, TrulyGreg16 for 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video and for sending me delicious food all the time. And thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Greg is what I call my fans here on YouTube. And to join Greg, all you have to do is subscribe and turn on my notifications. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode of But Dads Are Back.
You are not the father.
Yay! That's right, this is another installment of everybody's favorite series where I look at really strange ads for mobile games. There's this one that seemed to go viral on Twitter a couple days ago that like everybody's been tagging me in, so I figure, you know what? I might as well bring back this series for an episode to talk about it. This video has 300,000 likes and 8 million views on Twitter, and guess what? I've got beef with them. I have a pretty significant beef with these ads, and I'll explain why, but first, let's just go ahead and watch the ad that everybody's been tagging me in. To be fair, I did have to watch this multiple times for it to make sense to me, so I'm gonna walk you through it. That way, nobody gets lost along the way. So the ad starts out with very little context. It's a woman in a wedding dress, she's crying, and she's taking a taxi home, only to find out that her house has burnt down. Right away, so much backstory that I feel like I'm missing. The first time I watched this, I'm like, are we in the middle of an ad right now? Is this the beginning of the ad? Am I supposed to have watched other ads before this? But rest assured, I've watched a bunch of other ads for this game, and there is no context to be found. There is no explanation, so you just have to accept that this woman is having a very bad day. Then she gets a call from her grandma, and it looks like her grandma comes over to like comfort her for whatever happened at the wedding. I don't know if her fiance like stood her up or died, or if she stood him up or died. While she's being comforted, it also looks like she's holding a picture of herself from the wedding. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's supposed to be the grandma's wedding photos. And she's showing her granddaughter like, look at how happy I was at my wedding. Aw, your fiance stood you up and died at your wedding? Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie.
Look how happy I was at my wedding, though. Look at all these pictures. See how I'm smiling at all of them? The reason I'm smiling is because my husband was present at the wedding and alive at the wedding as well. I wasn't marrying a present corpse. He was also alive. Does that make you feel better? Are my happy memories making you feel better? Why not? Then I guess to further comfort her, the grandma gives her a house, which I guess would be a nice gift, but the house is in like terrible condition. The grandma just gives her the keys to this like dilapidated shack. I guess it's big, but is that even a nice gift for someone who just went through like a horrible breakup? Hey, so I know that you're really sad that the person you love the most in your life stood you up at your wedding and doesn't want anything to do with you anymore, but you know what would make you feel better? A really big empty house. A house so big that it could be full of like some little kids running around or a little husband running around, but instead it's just big and empty. Does that make you feel better? Why not? Plus on top of that, with how like out of repair this house is, this just seems like a huge burden. I mean, I hope it'll be nice when it's done because it is pretty big, but like, this just seems like so much work. You know, it actually doesn't even look like it's in that much better condition than her original house. Well, sweetie, we know that you really miss your house because it burnt down and that was like the worst day of your life. So we wanted to make you feel better. So as a community, we all pitched in and raised enough money to buy you a second burnt down house. Go on, get in there. So by now the ad is about halfway done, and if you're wondering like, wait, what even is this game? I don't understand how this is an ad for the game, and what is going on? You're not alone. But luckily they take a pause from the story real quick to show us some actual gameplay from the game. And it's just like a home improvement game, like a gardening and fixer-uppy game. In fact, you might notice that it has kind of like a similar vibe to Lily's Garden, which I talked about like, I don't even know how long ago, like a year ago? A year and a half? If you don't remember, Lily's Garden were the absurdly inappropriate ads for a gardening game. They had all sorts of fun ads, like Lily's private time sitting on the washer, Lily pretending that she's pregnant so that her boyfriend will leave her. All sorts of wacky scenarios that they used to market this game that, as far as I could tell, was just about gardening. So hold the absolute F up, Merge Mansion, which is the name of this game. I don't know if I've said it yet. So hold up, Merge Mansion. You think you can just steal Lily's Garden's thing? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to allow this copycat behavior, okay? Sure, I didn't like Lily's Garden ads at the time, or even now. And they also tried to start beef with me by putting my little nutcracker guy in their commercials next to a dumpster. So really, I shouldn't be defending them at all. But you know what, Merge Mansion? Stop it. It's also just like so over the top for a game about just like home improvement. Is all of this context and backstory necessary? Would this be important to me if I downloaded the game? Would I use this information at all? So I've got an empty spot in my garden. I can either plant a tree or build a statue. Keeping in mind that my fiance did either die or stand me up on my wedding day, I think the choice is actually pretty clear. I'm going back to therapy. Okay, so then the ad takes a drastic turn. What the hell did Grandma do? Huh? It's not clear what they're arresting her for. And they never explain it either, so I'm not sure if it's just like another thing that you're just gonna have to accept you don't know the answer to, like what happened to her fiance and how did her house start on fire? Or maybe it has something to do with the fiance and the house. I don't know. Did she burn down the house? Did she burn down the fiance? I don't know. And there you go, that's the whole ad. He is alive. Oh, rats, Merge Mansion. Just when I think I figured out some of the context of this ad, you go and pull the rug right out from under me. What the fuck does that mean? So, who is alive, first of all? The fiance? I'm going to have to assume that's who they're talking about, which makes me think that I might have been right about them all thinking the fiance died? Is that why the wedding was canceled? And if so, how did they think that he died? How did they think that he died but never saw him be dead? Did he just not show up to the wedding and everyone was like, damn, he must be dead? That's the only reason a groom has never not showed up to a wedding, because he died. So, that sucks. Maybe at first they thought the fiance stood her up at the wedding, but then when she got home to where she and the fiance lived together, the house is burned down. So then they're like, oh shit, he didn't just stand her up. He stood life up. He stood up the rest of his life. Now that's all interesting enough, right? That was a very strange ad, I think we can all agree. But if you scroll down in this Twitter thread, apparently there are other endings to this ad. There are like slight alternate endings that apparently other people have seen. So here's one of them. Instead of saying he is alive, her hand says, I planned this. Which I feel like if we're talking about the whole like fiance fake death thing, like almost means the exact same thing. There's also an alternate ending that has her saying you're next on the hand. I mean, all sort of just alluding to the same fact that the grandma did something nefarious and that's why the fiance disappeared, or, you know, she did something wild and wacky and now she's going to jail. I can't wrap my head around why they made these alternate endings. Are they like targeting the different ads to different groups of people? Like this really small change will have a different appeal to different demographics? Okay, so we're thinking that You're Next will go to the Gen Zers. But for the older crowd, like the baby boomers, we're thinking I planned this on her hand. Because old people really like planning. After doing a little bit of detective work on YouTube, I was able to find like, I guess the production company or studio or something that makes these ads. Okay, so that ad is about having a threesome. Does the game, I just want to know, does the game have anything to do with these ads? This home improvement game? I can't imagine it does. Okay, so now I'm out in the garden and here's a bush. What do I want to do here? I can either water bush, cut bush, have sex with two people hiding in bush. It's interesting that this is like the studio that makes these ads because they have a little description. Merge Mansion, a hit game from Metacore, needed 3 different ads full of warmth, humor, and drama. Warmth, humor, and drama. The simple warmth of finding out your fiance died and that your house burnt down and that your grandma had something to do with it all. They wanted to make films that are distinctive, surprising, and interesting from the first second. Distinctive? Try telling that to Lily's garden, dude. I'm actually in love with this Twitter thread though, because once this tweet started picking up traction and a bunch of people started seeing it, everybody started replying with weird ads that they've seen. And yeah, there's some weird ass ads out there. I haven't done this series in a while, and it turns out that developers have been going buck wild, dude. That's all I can say. Look at this. Wow. Dude, what a brutal kick. Oh my god. The sound effect and everything. I know that this is a common theme for all of these game ads, but I couldn't even wager a guess as to what this game is about. They're like stranded on an island, maybe? Like a desert island, but also this dude is like doing a little stripper pole dance for this girl. It's this fun new game where a group of people get stranded on a desert island and they have to start a new society, and instead of implementing money as currency, they implement pole dancing and lap dances, weirdly enough, as currency. And instead of jail, you just get punted. This next ad is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, and I'm not exaggerating. And there's no way you'll believe me unless I just play it, so here you go. Dude, what is this? Stinky fart dragon game? Dragonscapes.adventure. What the hell? What is this? The dragon farts once and the girl laughs and she's like, oh, you like that? You kind of like when I fart? And the girl's like, yeah, I guess it's kind of silly. It's kind of like funny in an immature type of way. And the dragon's like, oh, okay. Well, how about I fart so hard that I break your spine? You like my farts, huh? How about I fucking kill you? Wait, is this the same girl? Dude, it is! Wait, okay, so this ad had nothing to do with dragons, but this is clearly the same girl. She's got the same outfit and everything. Okay, maybe this game doesn't have anything to do with pole dancing or dragons. Is it just about punting this girl? Sending her flying? Okay, so the main object of this game is to wait until this girl's having a good time, see how she's dancing and having fun, or she like thinks that the dragon's fart is kind of funny. You wait until she's having fun, and then you just fucking send her. Oh wait! In the very last frame, it looks like now she's on an island by herself. So is this like the backstory for how she gets stranded on Stripper Pole Island? She was just having a good time watching her dragon and then she got like farted onto a deserted island? Maybe I'm reading too much into this. Is this even a real game? Wow, that game looks pretty cringe. That game looks so weird.
Who would download that? I mean, what do? You're in like colonial times and you form an army of dudes wearing only boxer briefs that can like form together into these sick big weapons, and then you like fight off these other armies? That's crazy. A crazy bad. That looks like a bad game. What is this game even called? Something dumb, probably. What is it? Guns of Glory? That's crazy, man. I would never want to even look at a game like that now that I know the name of it. Oh, look, this looks like one of those like episode type games, like a choose your adventure type thing. She says my fantasy ... and I guess you get to pick. Her two options are spank me master or spank my ass master. Is there a difference? Spank my ass master. Now spank me, master. Anyways, guys, I think that's enough badads for now. Now it's time for a good ad. Thanks to our sponsor, Sleeper. You guys, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Sleeper. Sleeper is a fantasy sports platform. It's an app that's available on the App Store and the Google Play Store, but it's not just any fantasy platform, it's the best fantasy platform for all of your fantasy football, basketball, and for gamers like me, it's even got esports. The reason I think Sleeper is the best fantasy platform out there is because they've got personality, dude. I mean, look at this app. It's got a sleek, modern design. It's got a beautiful UI, very clean, laid out just right. They've got all the features you're used to in fantasy apps and more. They've got social features like voice and text chat, which means leagues that use Sleeper have more fun. They chat more, they react to moves that happen all season long, and it all comes with 0 ads. If you don't have a group of friends to play with, that's fine because Sleeper just released a matchmaking feature that will help you find the league that's right for you. So if you and your friends want to take your fantasy sports league to the next level, then download Sleeper in the App Store or Google Play. The link will be in the description. Thank you to Sleeper for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Sleeper. All right, well, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. We're basically the fastest growing army on YouTube. Please do not look that up, but it is true. All right, well, thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. This video is over now. Go find something else to watch, or just watch this video. I know we had a lot of fun, but you can't stay on this end screen forever. This video is over now. So why are you still watching this? What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode of Boomers Getting Fooled by AI on Facebook. Gang, there is an epidemic going on right now. While we all grew up with our parents telling us not to believe everything we read online, it is now time for us to return the favor. It is time for us to warn them that 90% of the content they see on Facebook is not real. All this started for me when I got this image on my timeline. Now, to the average person, this might look like your average great photograph. After all, dogs do this sort of thing all the time. But being the internet sleuth that I am, I was a little bit skeptical. For one, what are the dogs doing right here? Like, what is that? Are they chewing up some kind of pillow or animal carcass or something? Hey guys, my 6 golden retrievers paused in the middle of tearing apart a deer carcass to pose like this, completely unprompted. I gotta admit, this is a pretty great photograph, but also I am very scared. I'm worried they're performing some kind of ritual. So this image doesn't seem right with me, but nobody else in the comments seemed to notice it was weird looking, so maybe I'm just crazy. Connie said, absolutely gorgeous. And then someone replied to that and said, you looking good in your picture. And a great comment. Whoa, dude. What? What a weird time to shoot your shot, dude. That was so out of the blue. Yeah, and actually, you know what's hotter than those dogs? You. And your comment. Hotter than the dogs? There's other weird parts of this image, like this dog that's either sitting on another dog or melted into another dog, but it is by far not the worst image on this account. You know, they say some people's dogs look exactly like their owners, and I think this is a great and terrifying example of that. There's a mix of responses on this image. Somebody should call the cops. Absolutely love. Creepy. Okay. Kinda mean. Look, I think we can all agree it's a terrifying image, but that baby did not choose to be born half dog, okay? He was probably cursed by a witch. Please be nice to him, he has enough to deal with. Plus, you haven't even seen this full image. You'd be really creeped out if you saw that this dog actually has human feet and ass. As I began to click on these AI-generated photos on Facebook, I started to get recommended them more and more to the point where now, when I go on Facebook, it's pretty much just AI-generated content. This is another account that I found that posts images like this. It always seems to be a child sculpting something very impressive out of trash.
And the people in the comments just eat this stuff up, dude. Great work. Keep it up. Great talent. Nice one. Thanks. What do you mean, thanks? Did you ask the kid to build this? Oh, finally. The kid I hired to build me a car is done with it. I can't wait to drive it around. I am 2 feet tall and a caveman, so this is perfect for me. All of the images in this genre give off the vibe of like, oh, look at this poor kid. He probably lives in a rural African country. He's probably poor, doesn't have many resources. But despite all that, somehow he is an incredible sculptor. Somehow he's defied all logic and found 1 million cloves of garlic to recreate the Titanic with. Could you do us a favor, guys, and just toss him a like? Could you just do it or he'll cry? They're like baiting you into feeling bad for them and thinking they're cute so that you'll engage with the picture, obviously encouraging them. But I gotta say, honestly, this kid, I don't feel bad for him at all. This kid has so much garlic. This kid is like a garlic kingpin. You know this isn't all of his garlic either. He's probably got a garlic Lamborghini, a garlic mansion where he parks this garlic yacht. He's living better than me. This dude is the garlic Mr. Beast. Not to mention he's way more defended against vampire attacks than any of us. Great work. Beautiful artwork. Where does he get all this garlic from? Okay, it is nice to see people questioning the validity of this image. Part of me does kind of think that they're not actually questioning whether the image is real or not. They just legitimately think that he got the garlic through nefarious means or something. I'm asking myself the same question, and garlic is expensive. They're turning on the kid. Thief! A garlic thief! This kid is stealing garlic from people who need it. Must have some pretty big pockets to steal all that garlic, young man. That must be why your arms are so long. You use them for sneaking and stealing. I'm Sam, and I made this from real wood. Great job, Sam. Totally normal house. Has all the features of a regular house. Nothing more and nothing less. Guys, toss Sam a like if you don't think his house is going to eat him. I'm trying to figure out what was happening here. How did the AI come up with this? Do you think the prompt was like kid standing in front of a little kid house? And the AI was like, little kid house, huh? Say no more, I know what that means. It's obviously a house with the soul of a small child imbued within it. It's beautiful and so well designed. Yeah, I mean, honestly, aside from the fact that there's no way to get in or out of the house, it's the most beautiful sentient house I've ever seen. I collected bananas to sculpt this bunny. And this person says, you know, you can eat them too. Those bananas you're using to sculpt the bunny, you might think that God just placed them here on Earth to sculpt with, but take off the outer peel and you'll be surprised. Now, I gotta say that usually I would agree with this person, but these bananas actually do not look edible. I don't know what's going on here, but these are not normal bananas. In fact, this whole thing kind of just looks like one mutated banana melted together. I don't even think this kid sculpted this. He just found a banana that already looked like a bunny. Wow, look at this kid. He sculpted Jesus sitting on a whale out of well, I'm not exactly sure what any of this is supposed to be. Are these diamonds? And then these are like, I don't know, these look like the containers that dishwasher pods come in. Very interesting material choices. Wow, look at this local impoverished child who made a Jesus sculpture out of only 1 million diamonds and other precious gems. Guys, toss him a like, he doesn't have much else. Made it with my own hands. And oh God, what a toll it took on this poor young child. He does not look so good, man. Made this with my own hands. And eyes. He took my fucking eyes! Now, all things considered, these images I've shown you so far are actually pretty tame, and the deeper and deeper you go into these accounts, the more insane they get. It's like they had a prompt that they used to generate the first few images, and then they just keep adding on to that prompt, making it longer and longer. But before I show you those images, I do want to take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, Opera. Opera is a browser that puts all default browsers to shame with its fun look and a ton of great features. And it's actually the browser I used to browse Facebook for this entire video, and let me just say, this thing browses Facebook like nobody's business. Just like AI images on Facebook, another thing ruining the usability of the internet is ads, plastered all over an article you're trying to read, trying to pry your attention away from what you're doing. I feel like I need blinders on sometimes when I'm using the internet. But Opera has an ad blocker built right into the browser. Just switch it on with one click, and suddenly web pages look so much nicer. Not to mention the fact that they also actually run smoother and faster with the ad blocker turned on. Like to listen to music while you're working? Who doesn't? I would be listening to music right now if I wasn't filming this video. That would be very distracting. Well, Opera has a music player built right into the sidebar of the browser, which works with Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal, and more, so that you don't have to constantly be switching between apps. This makes me feel much more productive when I'm working to just have everything in one neat, tidy place. You also have the ability to take snapshots right within the app. You can add text, add stickers, turn it into a silly meme or a YouTube thumbnail. Then you can send them to friends using Messenger like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and Telegram, which are also built right into the sidebar of the browser. If you're working on the go, as I often do with my trusty laptop, you can switch on the battery saver with just one click, extending your browsing time by up to an hour. So if you want to check out Opera, it's totally free. Just use the link in my description to download Opera today. Thanks to Opera for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Opera. Okay, like I was saying, the prompts just seem to keep getting longer and longer. It seems like one of the big tricks that these accounts use to get people to engage with them is by including Jesus or other Christianity symbols in their images. So this account at first just posted Jesus in the sand. This guy sculpted this gigantic Jesus thing. Everybody thinks it's beautiful. The caption is, "Why don't pictures like this ever trend?" Clearly baiting people to engage with it and like the picture. But then after Sand Jesus, I saw Sand Jesus on a log. Then I saw Sand Jesus on a log on a guy. Then I saw Sand Jesus on a log on 20 guys. Is there an AI that is also coming up with the prompts in the first place? Because like, who is coming up with these? These don't even seem like something a human being would come up with. Like in this one, why is Sand Jesus holding a smaller Sand Jesus? And why is he on like a runaway log? Like this guy is like, "Oh no, my Sand Jesus on a log with another Sand Jesus. It's getting away." Say what you want, but this is definitely my favorite part of the Bible. Another interesting thing about these pictures are the comments. Like all of the comments on the vast majority of these images is just amen, 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 amen. No questions, no concerns, just amen, 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 amen. Construction worker making Jesus using only a hammer. Amen, 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 amen. There's an entire genre on Facebook of AI generated images of Jesus made out of vegetables. And then show this on the screen with like a scary sound effect. Dun, dun. And you'll never guess what the comments are. Amen, 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 amen. On these images, you will not find a single comment questioning what is going on here. Has this always been a thing? I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. No one's questioning why these kids' hands are facing the wrong way. Why, if he is made out of vegetables, are his eyes so blue and lifelike? And obviously, I'm not trying to make fun of Christianity at all here. If anything, I think these pictures are kind of disrespectful to Christianity because they're just like using these fake, ridiculous images to bait people into engaging with their profile so that they make money. But you should already know by now, it gets worse. It gets way worse than vegetable Jesus, dude. You got crab Jesus, you got shrimp Jesus, and of course you have another shrimp Jesus. Amen, amen, amen. Who is this for? It's on like a legitimate Facebook account. This account has 117,000 followers. Who is meant to appreciate this image? Christian shrimp? Hey man, shrimps gotta get to heaven too. How else can they be saved from their shellfishness? I'm convinced that there was not a human running this account at all. I think this account was conceived of, created, and is currently run by an AI. There was never a human involved. And not only that, I'm also starting to suspect that the comments are also bots. There is no other explanation for the amount of engagement on these pictures, and like serious engagement. And also all the comments are like saying the same things, and they're all very generic. So it feels very bot-like. So if that is true, then technology has created a corner of the internet where an AI is interacting with another AI, and they both think the other one is a human. Does that not just feel wrong? Like, I kind of feel like a third wheel just being on this page. Learning that AIs interact with other AIs without humans watching at all feels like learning that, like, ghosts hunt other ghosts. Thought they were here to scare us. What the hell? And of course, the caption of Shrimp Jesus is, made it with my own hands. Do me a favor and destroy it with your own hands. How about that? Can you unmake it, please? Another popular thing for them to add into these images seems to be flight attendants. There is a lot of flight attendant-centric AI-generated images, oftentimes with Jesus as well. And I'm assuming that whatever this account started off posting was more tame than this, like it kind of made sense. The caption is beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson. Johansson. So I don't know if it had something to do with Scarlett Johansson on a flight or something, and then the AI just kept changing the prompt over and over until it was this. Here's another one with the exact same caption. I like that a good amount of the comments on this one say good luck. Good luck, amen. Good luck, amen, man. I have no fucking clue what's going on here, but good luck or congrats? I don't know, man. It's crazy how much these accounts post. If I just scroll through here, you can see these accounts post literally hundreds, if not thousands of times a day. Just post after post of nonsensical images. What is this? What is this supposed to be? And it's like, why? Do they make money from this? I've scrolled a lot through these types of pages, and I've never seen like a sponsored post or anything. So it's not like they're doing ads for companies using the following that they've built with these pages. Because like, who would the ads even be targeted to? Christian Shrimp? After doing some research, I found this video that this guy made called Make Money Posting AI Art on Facebook Using Free Tools, where he basically explains that you can sign up for Facebook's monetization program, and basically you get paid kind of like on YouTube based on how many views your image gets, and I think on Facebook it has something to do with how many likes. So some of these accounts might be making bank.
Most people think that clickbait is some shady, taboo, weird kind of topic, when in fact, all it is trying to get a click.
Yeah, guys, clickbait is not necessarily a bad thing, just as long as you're honest about what you're delivering. Anyway, let's go ahead and learn how to trick people into believing that fake images are real.
Utilizing good images, ad headlines, and articles to drive people to relevant content that actually does talk about what the image or ad said in the first place.
Yeah, but if the image is not real, then doesn't that make it impossible to deliver on the promise? Now, this guy does go on to say later in the video that you should make it clear when things are AI or not real. But after finding a bunch of these accounts, it doesn't seem like anyone using this method actually does that. I haven't seen one single image that has been like, by the way, this is AI and not real, so just saying now. Trick ya. Here's a different Facebook group that posts like beautiful mansions that all seem like they're AI generated. No disclosure anywhere that these images aren't real. Like being in a coffee mug. Love it. Huh. Yeah, there is something about this image that just looks like being in a coffee mug. Very insightful. Thank you. Either way, if this keeps up and this type of AI content invades all the other parts of the internet, it is just going to become completely unusable. I think Facebook and like every other social media platform needs to start training an AI that can detect AI generated content, so that it can like put a badge over all of these images to be like, hey, these aren't real, just, you know. Because so many people are so keen to try to use this to make money or create content for them that, like, just imagine in a few years if every single tweet or TikTok is created by ChatGPT or Midjourney. That sounds like a nightmare. Also, AI uses images and videos on the internet to train itself. So if like most of the images and videos on the internet become AI generated, and a lot of them look as bad as the ones that we've seen, isn't the AI just gonna get worse and worse? If it thinks that that's what real life looks like, what is its bad replication of that gonna look like? After I watched that one video, I started looking through a bunch of other videos on how to make money using AI, and there's a bunch of other ones that I think people should know about. This dude's video is called I Got AI to Create My Facebook Ads in 10 Minutes. The first few ways that he shows are pretty tame. It's just like using AI to create product photos using an existing product that already exists. The AI is just being used to enhance the photo, like change the background. But this next one is crazy.
We'll drop our product URL in here. Type in our target audience, which is females aged 18 to 45. And then we can hit next. And then it generated 2 ad copy examples that we can use.
So he just gave this service the product description that he's trying to advertise. It came up with a script for him. And now it's going to use AI to have this random woman lip sync the AI generated dialogue.
Spa day, meet the mocktail wash, my intimate savior and relaxation partner.
I don't know who this woman is. I assume that she must have like licensed her likeness to this service. I hope she did. But even still, I feel like you have to be super careful as an actor if you're gonna be licensing your likeness to a service like this, because you could end up advertising anything, and that's kind of terrifying. Okay, here's another tutorial about a similar method.
Today, I'm gonna show you how to make ads like this or this
completely with AI, and what I'm about to show you is scary.
It's crazy to acknowledge how scary a tool is, but then your first thought is like, well, how can I make money off of this? Top 10 scariest ways to make money. Number 1, fake AI ads. Let me go ahead and show you how to make them. What you're gonna wanna do is go to this website, and then click on new project. So he shows this ad for his website that sells licorice, which has gotta be like the most whimsical business idea I've ever heard of. But he reveals after the ad is done playing that like half of the people in this ad were AI. Or at least like the video was real, but their lips were AI and the dialogue was AI.
Some of the creators in this ad are AI.
Hey, entrepreneurs, have you ever wondered why testimonials like this work so well? How, like, it's because people assume that the people on their screen are real people talking about a product that they genuinely enjoy, thus giving the product more credibility and maybe generating fake videos of fake people endorsing your product who have never experienced your product because computers cannot eat licorice is maybe a little bit unethical. I'm kind of starting to think that this guy doesn't care, and that he thinks that we're all dumb.
When we are speaking to people on the newsfeed, they are in their dumbest, most stupidest, dumbest state.
Don't worry if you feel bad lying to people, guys. They're actually really dumb, so it's okay. Obviously, clickbait and scams and fake product testimonials have always existed and will always exist. It just sucks that it seems like it's becoming so much more accessible and a whole new generation of business owners are choosing to adopt the practice. AI is a really broad term, and in most cases it's a tool, and I've seen like artists use AI as a tool to improve their workflow, not just like using it to type in a prompt and use the result as an end product, but like use it like you would use any other tool in Photoshop. So if it's making artists' lives easier, I think that's one thing, but to use it to trick people or create the most bland or disturbing content I've ever seen on Facebook is super disappointing. And I'll be the first person to admit, like, it is cool that this technology exists. It's cool that computers can even generate such realistic, albeit horrifying images in the first place. But can we not just pause for a second to think about how doing stuff like this is gonna make nobody trust anything anymore? Or at the very least, the entire internet is just gonna become unusable because it's just gonna be bots interacting with other bots. Can someone make a movie like the movie Her, but it's actually just two robots falling in love and they both think that they're falling in love with a human? That's gonna be big with this new internet, dude. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Greg is what I call my subscribers, so if you're not Gregged up, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and absolutely obliterate the notification bell. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. What's up, Greg? If you've seen my video about the Disney Channel original movie Zombies, then you know I have some deeply troubling feelings about that movie. It's a very poorly made, weird, cobbled together metaphor for racism, and on top of that, a lot of the lore surrounding the zombies doesn't make any sense. So I ended up walking away from that movie feeling like I had so many unanswered questions, which is why when I found out there are 2 more movies in this franchise, I was honestly thrilled. I could actually get some answers to my questions. They'll dive into the lore a little bit deeper. Then I watched the movie and realized that was a very dumb assumption to make. This movie does not answer any of the questions that you might have had about the first movie. In fact, it introduces a whole bunch of new lore that like is even more confusing and also kind of contradicts with the lore from the first movie. Now, all of that might lead you to believe that this movie is gonna be really bad, like even worse than the first movie. But honestly, this movie is not that bad. Also, it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, so technically speaking, this is a perfect film. So strap in and get ready, because I don't know if you've ever seen a technically perfect film before, but this is what one looks like. The movie starts off right away, changing the lore that we all know.
Welcome back to Seabrook, where belonging is everything.
It wasn't always this way. There was a time when we had to protect ourselves.
Right, we all remember that. In the first movie, you explained how the power plant blew up, zombies invaded the whole town and started killing and eating people. How could we forget?
Legend has it that when the first settlers came to Seabrook, they found wild beasts with sharp claws lurking in the forest.
Wait, so these beasts are different beasts? These are a different sect of beasts?
Which sparked an epic battle.
There was a war?
Seabrook settlers bravely fought off the monstrous attack and discovered a powerful energy source.
And that mysterious power source basically powered the entire town until that one fateful day when it blew up and created beasts. different beasts. These are different beasts than the beasts we just saw. This is a very beast-heavy town.
The beasts were a distant memory.
Seabrook forgot monsters could be real.
So, hold on. You guys didn't think to mention this during the first movie? How could you tell us a history of Seabrook and neglect to mention the battle with mythical creatures that transpired? What else are you hiding from us? And what about this mysterious power source that runs the entire city? Don't you think during the 200 years since this happened, someone should have like looked into this, made it a non-mysterious power source? They were like, we'll call this beautiful land Seabrook. We'll build a school to teach our young, a hospital to treat our ill, and a power plant that might blow up. We do not know. Because of the events of the last movie, now all the zombies are allowed to commingle with the humans. It seems like things are really on the up and up.
It's hard to believe there was a time when people were afraid of zombies.
Crazy thing to say for someone who has for sure eaten his neighbors. Also, we saw what you did to people in the last movie, dude. It's not hard to believe at all. I'm still scared of you. Then we check in on Addison, who you may remember from the first movie by her platinum blonde hair that for some reason in this universe makes her some kind of sick, disgusting freak.
That's Cheer Captain Bucky, my cousin. My cousin.
It's here at Cheer Camp we learned two things. First, that story about the werewolves is kind of a legend, and no one's really sure if it's true or not.
You've all heard the stories of bloodthirsty monsters who roam these woods, feasting on innocent cheerleaders.
And two, the younger cheerleaders and the older cheerleaders are not getting along.
This week, the veterans and the newbies will compete for the Cheer Camp Cup.
I feel like one of those things is gonna have a bigger impact on the plot.
Watch and learn, Snowball. Ah, yes, my hair. Still white, still well conditioned, and still drawing fire from the AC.
Okay, thank God she addressed it, dude. I know we were all thinking, what the fuck is wrong with her? You should shave your head, you look insane. We then get a song about how well everybody's getting along now. The cheerleaders are having fun at cheer camp, zombies are entering all facets of normal human life. Zed's dad has even been hired as the project manager to demolish the old power plant, which I'm sure will have little to no consequence in this story. The message of the song is undermined a little bit when the cheer captain Bucky launches an underclassman into the air with a high-powered water bazooka called the Buckzooka. Just a little bit of playful hazing, I guess, for the underclassmen. Oh, you want to be a cheerleader? How about some internal bleeding? That's hazing, baby. Nobody joins an organization that I've already joined and gets away with it. And while I do wish someone would rush this poor girl to the hospital, I do have to admit, the song does slap. The music in the first movie sucked in my opinion, but the production quality of not just the music, honestly, but the whole movie is way better in this one. Probably as a result of the success of the first movie. The first one was very popular. So they were like, look, this next movie, you know, it's not gonna make any sense, but it's gonna look fantastic. The lighting on that girl as she flies through the air with 12 broken ribs is gonna be so good.
I wish that I could call. I hope you get my letter.
Addison is hoping that Zed will write to her while she's at cheer camp. They have a bit of a love connection going on, as you'll remember from the first movie, but Addison never will get those letters because the older cheerleaders are shredding them and turning them into pom-poms for the underclassmen to use. Addison, I hate to say it, I don't think these cheerleaders are teaming up to make progress with you. I think they're conspiring to ruin your life. On the way home from cheer camp, love is in the air. Cheerleaders are asking each other to prawn.
Yes! I got invited to prawn!
Which is Seabrook's version of prom. Their mascot is like a shrimp or something, so I guess that's why it's called that. And for the first time this year, zombies are allowed to go to prawn. Bree is actually hoping that Bonzo will ask her to prawn.
Getting invited to prawn sounds great, but Bonzo won't even look at me.
Meanwhile, Bonzo is locked in on her, carving her face into a threatening-looking apple. And Addison gets a surprise of her very own because Zed has devised a very intricate way of asking her to be his date.
Addison, will you?
Zed!
Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Zed's not supposed to be there! He's supposed to be floating over there.
Zed!
Addison, help! I'm gonna fucking die! Addison! The bus crashes into a gated forest called the Forbidden Forest. And Addison goes running off to find Zed, but what she ends up finding are werewolves.
We're surrounded by werewolves.
So here's where the movie started to lose me a little bit, and I know this is a perfect film, so this is probably something wrong with me, but I feel like when I look at these werewolves, they're not werewolves. They're just teenagers living in the woods wearing dead animals. You might be thinking, okay, these are people who are gonna become werewolves at some point. No, these are what the werewolves look like. They even go out of their way to show a full moon in one of the shots to be like, no, this is as werewolf as they're gonna get. These are outdoor teens with dead animals on. That's what werewolves are. And that's just how it is for the entire movie. And on one hand, I guess I understand because like true to form werewolves would probably be super expensive to do and make look good. But also, you guys didn't have to make a movie about werewolves. That was your choice. You already had a whole universe with zombies in it. You didn't have to add another creature. Or you could have kept the movie exactly the same as it is and just not called them werewolves. You could have made up a new creature. Just called them outdoor teens. It would have made sense. But no, you had to drag werewolves into this. You said this movie will be about werewolves. It will be an integral part of the story. And our costume budget will be $4. A few scenes later, a werewolf sneaks into the town of Seabrook and finds a drawing of like an actual werewolf that Zed's little sister drew, and he takes it back to the other werewolves and they all start making fun of it.
Looks nothing like us, Wyatt.
It's like they're trying to gaslight us. Werewolves don't look like this. Werewolves never looked like this. You'd have to be some kind of dumb, uneducated zombie child to think that us wolf people bear any resemblance to those half wolf, half people. After word gets out that Addison had this encounter with the outdoor teens, the whole town is a mess.
Dad, everything is fine.
It's not fine. There are werewolves circling us right now, waiting to attack.
They jump to the conclusion that the werewolves want to attack them so bad. Addison leaves the interaction totally unscathed. They didn't do anything to her, but the whole town, even the zombies, are like, ooh, the werewolves want to kill us so bad. We better kill them first. And eat them. Typical zombies. So the leaders of the town decide to reinstate all emergency monster laws.
All anti-monster laws are reinstated.
This sets up one of the big conflicts in the movie because, as you know, Addison wants to go to prom with Zed, but one of these anti-monster laws is that zombies aren't allowed to go to prawn anymore.
Zombies can't go to prawn.
Ouch. And when I say one of them, I firmly believe that is the only emergency monster law. It's the only one they talk about in this entire movie. They let so much else slide in this movie, but that's the one thing they're like, no, we cannot have zombies at prawn this year. Ouch. You'll see in a bit why that's so strange, but right now we gotta go check in with the werewolves because they're setting up a conflict of their own.
And you know we don't have much time. Our necklaces are almost out of power.
So the werewolves all wear this stone around their neck. It's called Moonstone, and it's sort of what gives them their power. I guess it's like some kind of mysterious power source or something. But it turns out that like 200 years ago, somebody or some group of people stole all of the Moonstone from them. So their reserves are running low and they're all gonna like die because they don't have their Moonstone. But some of the werewolves think that Addison fulfills a prophecy that the werewolves have about some white-haired lady who's gonna lead them to more Moonstone. This is the kind of lore that gets you a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Even if the girl is the great alpha.
A girl? The great alpha? I'll believe it when I see it.
Even if the girl is the great alpha, how do we find her?
I found this in the woods. It's hers.
We'll track her down with our keen sense of smell.
It says Seabrook High on it, so I thought we might just look there.
Kinda seems like they will use any excuse not to show the werewolves do anything werewolfy in this movie. All right, we've gotta find this girl. How would werewolves accomplish such a task? We could use our wolf noses. What? No, what is wrong with you? No! We could ask around? Yes! Also, for those of you wondering, yes, that is baby Ariel from Musical.ly. She used to be like the most followed person on Musical.ly. I always wondered what happened to her. Guess she lives in the woods now.
We find the girl, and if she's the great alpha, she'll tell us where the Moonstone is hidden.
We go in the morning.
We go tonight.
That's right. They're not gonna wait around. They have to go tonight. So they march out of the Forbidden Forest, down the streets, and into Seabrook High, singing about how they own the night. Then they open up a vent and crawl into it, and they wait until morning. So Kind of seems like they didn't really need to go at night, did they? They all file into the event so dejectedly. They're like, maybe we should have researched what this place is. I guess we don't know what a school is. They're not here at night. Imagine they accidentally went on like the last day of school before summer. A janitor finally comes in after 80 long days and finds 20 dead werewolves in an event. That day at school, Bucky and Zed both decide to run for class president. Zed because he wants to reallow monsters to go to prawn, and Bucky, I don't know, he probably wants to like divert more of the school's funding towards an unmanned drone for the cheerleading team. But then, suddenly,
I will make Seabrook a place that embraces zombies and werewolves.
What? Where? Oh, there? What a lucky guess. How can you tell? People peering in through glass doors? Yep. Those teens live outdoors.
Man. Willa, we can't go to war with the whole town. We'll never find the Moonstone if they're on high alert.
Yeah, dog, I think that ship has sailed. You guys just charged them growling and gnashing your teeth. I think they're on high alert. Hey, all that stuff we did back there, that was we were just messing around. We're just a bunch of friendly teens. Don't look at her. Do not look at her.
Sorry. We werewolves so admire your town, and we just came here to join your school.
Okay, well, that's obviously not allowed. You guys were about to kill them, and also the emergency monster laws are in effect, and there's definitely one forbidding such things.
Technically, the Forbidden Forest is within the school district.
What?
So welcome to Seabrook.
What? Wow, guys. The emergency monster laws are working great. No, you did so good. You did such a good job. They were so close to killing you, and they only stopped because they found out Bonzo's not allowed to prawn, so good rule. So just like that, the werewolves enroll at Seabrook High. And wait a minute, all of the werewolves look the same age. Are they all teenagers? Or are some of them like 80 years old? Are some of them babies? And how does that work in dog years? Are they going to classes? I don't even know if they know how to write. They're not gonna be able to find the Moonstone. They're gonna be too busy failing all their classes. So Zed is worried about losing the class president election to Bucky, so he decides to go over the new untapped voter base, the werewolves.
Werewolves of the swing vote. Hello, wolves. I'm Zed.
Do it like the zombies do.
Yeah, for some reason I feel like the werewolves aren't gonna care who becomes the class president. They don't know what a president is. They don't know what school is. They live in the woods and they wear Moonstone, dude. You have no fucking clue.
Come on, we've got moves to bust.
Throughout this whole movie, Addison has her own thing going on too, where she just feels like she doesn't belong anywhere. That's right, despite being a bleach blonde cheerleader at a Disney Channel high school who was literally elected captain of the cheerleading team in this movie, she just doesn't fit in.
I don't feel like I belong anywhere, where.
Which makes her that much more susceptible when the werewolves come a-knocking. The werewolves are starting to get desperate, and given that they think that Addison is the great alpha, which again, she could not be, they bring her back to their cave and ask her for help.
I believe you're the great alpha. I believe you're a werewolf.
That's it. That's why she doesn't fit in. That's why she has ugly hair. It's because she's a different species. It finally makes sense. So they do a little dance, they do a little wardrobe change, and now she's a werewolf. Damn, that was a fast costume change. Did she know they were gonna rip her clothes off down there? This seems terrifying if she didn't. The rest of the gang gets worried when they realize Addison is gone with the zombies, so Zed shows up and he just fucking kills one of them. Holy shit, dude. And we never see that guy again. I think he's dead.
The explosion came from Seabrook Power.
Seabrook Power is the birthplace of zombies.
A little lime soda mixed with some mysterious energy, and then bam! Zombies.
Nice story, but it doesn't concern us.
Nice story about you and your unknown electricity fuel, but we've got our own problem. We're looking for a mysterious power source.
But it does concern you, Willa. That could be your Moonstone, right?
Oh shit, she's right. So for the rest of the movie, Addison is like pretending to be a werewolf. She shows up to school the next day and she's like, I'm a werewolf. I've always been a werewolf and I've always known I was a werewolf.
Addison, if you ever expect to be cheer captain...
Well, maybe I don't.
Maybe I'm not meant to be cheer captain. Maybe I'm meant to be eating gerbils. What do werewolves do? I actually don't know what they do. I know I am one, I just don't know what we do. Then we get the presidential debate between Zed and Bucky, and this is how all presidential debates should go.
I'm a real human.
there's no danger in that. They're real monsters. Man. What if they turn back?
There should be singing. There should be choreography. One of the sides should be claiming that the other is a dangerous beast. And President Biden, how would you respond to that claim? He wants to eat me! He's trying to fucking eat me! The demolition of the power plant is imminent, so the werewolves rush there to stop the mayor from destroying all their moonstone. Via song? It does not go very well.
Arrest them!
Oh my god, dude, he said arrest them, not gas them.
Colloidal silver. That'll tame those beasts.
You know, for a government that just found out werewolves exist, they sure seem to have the exact chemical compound that would hurt them most. Colloidal silver shuts down their nervous system instantly. Just a hunch. Then Addison and the cheerleaders show up, and then Zed and the zombie show up, and now they're all singing, trying to convince the mayor to shut this thing down. Okay, at this point in the song, they're just having fun with it, man. They're just splashing around. I don't even think they're trying to convince the mayor anymore. He's not even in that part of the power plant. He's just standing alone in the main entrance now. You can hear music just vaguely echoing through the plant. Okay, I get it. I think I figured it out like 20 minutes ago, guys. Okay, so I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is they decide not to blow up the power plant.
Stop the detonation.
The bad news is the demolition guy accidentally does it anyway.
Shut it off.
I can't.
And also, Addison finds out she's actually not a werewolf.
Am I?
Bree's like, I don't know. They sort of just look like regular people to me. You look like a teenager who lives outside.
She's not a werewolf.
Oh, that's so embarrassing, dude. We all saw you act like a werewolf. You dressed up like one and everything, dude. No! Don't worry, this movie does end with them finding a way to access the Moonstone underground. They transport it to Prawn, and then they dance all night in the iridescent glow of this mysterious power source that is surely exposing them all to a dangerous dose of radiation. And then at the very end of the movie, they hint at another sequel, which seems to have something to do with aliens.
Weird.
And that is Zombies 2. And now it's time to talk about our sponsor. This video has been sponsored by... Guys, it's the season of giving, gathering, and with HelloFresh, it can be the season of saving. You can actually save money this holiday season with fresh, delicious recipes delivered straight to your door. It's cheaper than takeout, it's easier than grocery shopping, and the meals turn out so good. I like HelloFresh because I'm not really much of a chef. Okay, I don't really know how to cook well, but every time I cook HelloFresh, it ends up turning out great. Last night we had these Tex-Mex enchiladas. Didn't take too long to prepare. Turned out great. Honestly, best homemade enchiladas I've ever had, and I was the one who made them at home. I've got a lot going on. I've got a baby. I've got family visiting. It's a busy time of year. So sometimes it can feel impossible to get a good, nutritious homemade meal in, but not with HelloFresh. Can I let you in on a little secret? Some of their meals only take 15 minutes to prepare. How is that possible? Must be Santa. And guess what? HelloFresh is actually more than just dinners. They've got breakfast, they've got lunches, they've got snacks. So you can start skipping the grocery store for a variety of meals. HelloFresh is making life so much easier. So if you want to check out HelloFresh and for free breakfast for life, visit the link in the description or scan this QR code. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That is free breakfast for life with HelloFresh at my link. Again, this QR code. Don't use a different QR code, it won't work. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. All right, thank you guys for watching this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. We are the fastest growing army on YouTube. Do not look that up. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. What's up, Greg? I've wanted to make a video about the High School Musical movies ever since I started making videos about DCOMs almost 5 years ago. More so as just an excuse to go back and watch them, because when I was a kid, I really liked these movies. And if you're a millennial, chances are you did too. And you were also too scared to admit that to any of your friends. I don't know why as an 11-year-old I felt the need to pretend that I didn't like a movie that was, you know, made for 11-year-olds. As if all my friends were gonna be like, High School Musical? I don't know, man. Sounds a little immature to me. I only watch war footage. I'm a very violent young man. Either way, something I did not realize as a kid is how low budget these movies were. The first movie was made on a budget of $4.2 million, which might sound like a lot, but Zombies 3, which is a newer DCOM, cost $40 million to make. In Zombies' defense though, they needed the money. Those werewolf costumes looked pretty expensive. High School Musical was shot in just a couple of weeks at a real high school using real students as extras. In fact, they were so strapped for cash, they couldn't even afford a real title. Apparently, High School Musical was just the working title for the script, and they were like, we'll come up with a better one eventually, and then they didn't. I'm very excited to see if these movies hold up to my jaded adult eyes. So let's start with the first one. Let me introduce you to the two main characters of this movie, Troy and Gabriella. They don't know each other yet, but they're both on vacation with their respective families at a ski resort on New Year's Eve. And right away, this movie shows you everything you need to know about these characters in like 2 minutes. Gabriella is nerd girl. She doesn't want to go to the teen party because she's busy reading a book. Meanwhile, Troy's dad is the most stereotypical Disney dad to ever grace the screen. Not only is Mr. Bolton Troy's dad, he's also the coach of Troy's high school basketball team. So instead of getting ready for the parties, he's making Troy run drills in the hotel gym.
Am I going left?
Yeah. He looks middle, you take it downtown.
Well, Troy, it's New Year's Eve. You know what that means. That's right, Dad. I might finally get my first kiss.
Fake right! Take the ball downtown!
Troy's mom comes to get them for the party, and Troy asks if he can have one more basket with all of the confidence and swagger of a real high school jock.
Come on, one more.
One more? Just one more basket, please. Troy shows up to the teen party and is immediately yawning his face off. All right, hell yeah. This is clearly a popular jock who knows how to party. Somehow, despite being the two most bored people at the party, the Spotlight chooses Troy and Gabriella to sing karaoke. But to the Spotlight operator's credit, they actually do crush it. They both get up there and they're nervous at first, but then all of a sudden, Troy's voice, it's like it changes almost, actually. It's like his voice changes from his voice to like a professional singer's voice. Because that is what happens, actually.
Living in my own world. Now who'd have ever thought that?
I think this might be like the most well-known High School Musical trivia, but for the vast majority of the first High School Musical movie, it's not Zac Efron's voice singing. He had a voice double. His name is Drew Seeley, and he never appears on screen in the movies. He also apparently didn't even realize how big of a movie High School Musical was, and forgot that he had done the vocals for the movie until it came on the TV while he was working a shift at P.F. Chang's. Apparently, he tried to convince his coworkers that it was really him singing in the movie, and no one believed him. It's kind of funny because the whole point of the movie is kind of like, hey, basketball guys can sing too if they wanna. But not this basketball guy, actually. You don't want to hear this basketball guy's voice. So they crush the song, they're dancing around on stage together. It's like they were born to perform. But for me personally, Little Viking Boy really steals the show. You guys know Little Viking Boy, right?
The start of something new.
He's basically the star of the movie. Look at him back there. He's leaving it all on the dance floor, man. Whoa, sorry, I almost fell backwards. It's just... He actually is getting a little bit too into this. This guy's locking eyes with me like we've been madly in love for years. And why did his voice suddenly get so much more theatrical?
I guess I better go find my mom and wish her a Happy New Year.
This is so romantic. I should say something romantic. I gotta go find my mom. And then she vanishes. And he never sees her again. That's right, you thought the movie was gonna be about Troy and Gabriella? Nah. No, the rest of this movie is about Troy and Viking Boy. Flash forward, Troy returns to his high school, East High, where he is seemingly a god amongst men. And then, actually, I don't remember this scene. Yeah, I don't know what happens here at all. Looks like the teacher is about to maybe give some kind of speech about today's sponsor? This video is sponsored by the Pokemon Company International. And they've sponsored this video because they want me to share some very exciting news with you. A Pokemon Day celebration is taking place in Pokemon trading card game Pocket right now. There's a new themed booster pack, Triumphant Light. And players can receive 3 booster packs for free just by logging in. And these booster packs, mind you, are guaranteed to contain at least 1 card of 4 diamond rarity or higher. By completing special missions, you can also obtain a unique display playboard, as well as Space-Time Smackdown packs, 500 trade tokens, 12-pack hourglasses, 24 Wonder Hourglasses, 24 Trade Hourglasses. Not to mention, at the end of March, ranked matches are coming to the game. So get your favorite decks ready and get ready to battle, baby. Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket is a free-to-start game, available right now for download on iOS or Android. So go to this link or click the link in the description to join now. Log in, have some fun, and enjoy the Pokemon Day celebration. And now back to Troy. But unbeknownst to him, there's a new student at East High.
I reviewed your impressive transcripts. I expect your light will shine very brightly here at East High.
I don't want to be the school's freaky genius girl again.
Freaky genius girl? What did you do at your last school? Troy notices that Gabriella is sitting in the back of their drama class, and not to be nitpicky, but this drama class scene lasts for 2 minutes, but the class happens in real time from start to finish in that 2 minutes. The bell rings. They sit down, the whole class gets detention, and then the bell rings again and they leave. How long is a school day at East High? Is it like 15 minutes? Troy shows Gabriella around, they catch up a little bit, and it is revealed that East High is having auditions for their winter musical pretty soon. Troy jokes that Gabriella should sign up because, you know, they sang together, and Gabriella's response is basically, fuck no.
I'll be signing up for anything for a while.
Yeah, I don't know why. I remembered this movie differently. I thought they both wanted to do the musical. Troy seems to maybe want to do it, and Gabriella's like, no, I'm not doing that. No, I don't sing. I'm not a freaky genius girl, and I'm definitely not a freaky singer girl.
So, dude, you know that school musical thing? Troy, the music in those shows isn't hip-hop, okay, or rock. It's like show music.
Yeah, and you guys would never do anything like sing show music, right? And then cut to them singing the hardest show music in this entire movie. That's the funny thing about this movie. Since it's a movie about a musical, there are several characters in this movie that are opposed to musicals. So it is a little jarring to see those characters seemingly completely unaware that they are literally singing and dancing right now. But on the other hand, I guess it would also be weird if they didn't sing when everyone else was. At the end, when they're all singing, we're all in this together, Corbin Blue's just standing around like, this is lame. There's 2 parts in the song though where Troy like stops rapping to sing from the heart about how he wants to do the musical.
She makes this feel so right.
Should I go for it? What do you mean she makes this feel so right? And should I go for it? Gabriella doesn't want to do the musical. It was your idea, and she said no. Don't drag her into this. This girl's making me crazy. No, you're crazy. You already were, and then you met a girl. That's what happened. Also, Zac Efron is 5'8", and presumably so is everybody else on this basketball team, because they're all like the same height, so how good exactly are they at basketball? Okay, now you got Sharpay, who's played by Ashley Tisdale. She's like the head of the theater department at school. She's the theater kid. And her brother Ryan is the theater kid in boy form. They are getting a little bit worried that Troy and Gabriella might audition for the musical. Again, Gabriella has showed zero interest in doing the musical. So they decide to do a little bit of research on Gabriella. So they search her name on the internet and they find out she's this freaky genius girl that she said she was. She's won all of these awards. She's won scholastic competitions and the like. But also, what is the third result there? Gabriella, San Diego Zoo's newest... What is Gabriella at the San Diego Zoo? Ryan's like, oh, that's interesting. Look, it says here she's a dolphin. That's funny. Now that I think about it, I can't believe I never noticed. After basketball practice, it's time for Troy to go home and relax. Just kidding. It's time for more basketball. Come on, Troy. Fake left. Take the ball downtown.
Did you ever think about trying something new, but we're afraid of what your friends might think?
I mean, like going left? You're doing fine. Come on.
Troy's dad has one thing in his mind, and it is one basketball just bouncing around like the DVD logo. I want to see a movie about him and how hard his life must be. I do like that this movie keeps the tradition alive of Disney Channel movie characters being inexplicably rich. His dad is a high school basketball coach and they live in a mansion. What does the mom do? She an arms dealer? Also, he says something new, like going left.
I mean, like going left?
When in Get You Ahead in the Game, Troy clearly says coach said to fake right and break left. He already said to do that. That's not new. That's what he already does. So... found a plot hole. Next, Troy sneaks away from his friends to go audition for the musical. I guess the voices in his head that he thinks are Gabriella got too strong, and he now has to act on them. He's gone! Wow! Where'd he go? Pay no attention to the fact that as he turns the corner, he probably fully saw Troy like... Meanwhile, Troy's dad is just standing there like, huh, that's weird. Could have sworn I saw basketball. Now, when we see the auditions, it becomes immediately clear that while Ryan and Sharpay are basically made out to be the villains of this movie because they're so overprotective of their theater department, they are completely in the right to do so. Not because their audition is really good, which it actually is, but because everyone else's is so bad.
It's hard to believe
that I couldn't sneeze.
It seems that no one else in this entire school can even sing. It seems like they actually don't even have a concept of what music is. So like, yeah, I would actually be hoping I got the lead too. It is funny how they all act like they can't sing, and then anytime there's like an actual musical number as part of the movie, every member of the student body sings their heart out like the Renters do. What's going on there? So Troy shows up to audition, and then Gabriella shows up too. I guess, turns out she actually did want to audition. I don't know. I don't know if Troy threatened her or what, but she shows up. But they are too late to the actual audition, so they don't get to audition in time, but they stick around afterwards and just sing an audition anyway. And Miss Darbus, the director, hears them and decides, you know what, you guys get a call back. Understandably so, she's working with a very small talent pool. Here comes two people who know what a song is. She's got to hold on to that.
After school, before school, whatever works. After basketball class, and you can get this right. I'm so...
What? Now this is interesting. Troy is looking at his sheet music like he's never seen it before in his life, despite having just sung the song perfectly after only glancing at the sheet music briefly. He also says, what?
So what?
To almost imply he has no clue how the sheet music got into his hands or how he got a callback. Does he not know that he just sang? Anytime there's a musical number in this movie, do they just black out and come to like, I don't know what happened. We definitely didn't sing though, I don't know how. If you're my age, it might have felt like this movie was written just for you when it came out. And in a sense, it kind of was. The writer, Peter Barsacchini, who was mostly known for writing rated R action movies at the time, started writing the script because he wanted to make a movie he could watch with his daughter, Gabriella.
I thought it would be really fun to write a Disney Channel movie that my daughter could watch.
Yes, he did name the main character after her, and that kind of melts my heart. She was 10 in 2004 when he started writing it. And so was I. The story was actually inspired by his own high school experience, when one of his basketball teammates confided in him about his love for ballet. Decades later, Peter thought, wow, that's actually the perfect plot for a kid's movie. Boys are more than just jocks. They can do other stuff. They can do ballet. No, actually, that's too far. They could do the musical, but only if it's because they want to sing with a girl. Anyway, it's time for another song about how basketball players shouldn't sing, sung by, you guessed it, the Basketball Players. Status Quo is actually such a fantastic song. It features several students who decide that, hey, since Troy and Gabriella are breaking out of their stereotypical roles in this school, so can I. Zeke, the basketball player, decides to let everyone know, hey, not only do I play basketball, I also bake.
I bake.
This nerdy girl loves hip-hop, this stoner skater guy likes to play the cello, and everyone in this school fucking hates it. We're skaters, bro. We don't play the cello. We only skate and smoke weed. And of course we sing. Now, of course, this movie is very self-aware about this contradiction, and I love it for that, but it does not make sense. At the beginning of this song, Zeke says, I want to make a creme brulee someday, and then at the end of the song, he actually has a creme brulee. So he presumably baked this creme brulee at some point during the song. It cuts to him sprinting down the hallway to the kitchen. You can hear everyone else singing, echoing in the background. He's like, they don't believe me. They don't believe I can bake. I gotta show them. So Gabriella shows up, and everyone is, of course, staring at her, because they were all just singing about her. They're staring at her, they're pissed, and they kill her. They kill Gabriella.
At my other schools, I was the freaky math girl.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Gabriella, but you are a freak here too. Everyone at this school thinks you're a freak now also. The entire student body, I don't know if you heard, they actually just sang an entire song about it. Now you're the freaky singing girl.
So you really want to do the callbacks?
Just call me Freaky Callback Boy.
You're a cool guy, Troy.
Thanks. I said call me Freaky Callback Boy.
I'm sorry, this is a closed practice.
Dad, come on, practice is over.
Until the last player leaves the gym.
I'll see you later, Troy. Nice meeting you, Coach Bolton.
There's a lot of tension here. Like, Mr. Bolton actually hates Gabriella. He hates this 15-year-old girl with all his might. Like, you will never be a basketball. Get out of my son's life. We know the truth! Go back to the zoo, you dolphin!
Dude, she's not a problem. She's just a girl.
But you're not just a guy, Troy.
You're not just a guy, Troy. You're Freaky Callback Boy.
Call me Freaky Callback Boy.
But you're a playmaker. Not a singer, right?
Did you ever think maybe I could be both?
The look on his face is like, damn, I really never did think of that. Because this whole singing thing is getting in the way of Troy's basketball responsibilities, his team decides to get together with Gabriella's friends to try to break the two apart. The plan consists of getting Troy to badmouth Gabriella by listing the names of basketball players who went to their high school 20 years ago.
Spider Bill Natrine. Class of 72.
Sammy Slamma Jamma.